Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Y'all, let's get it going. Check 1, 2. Drew's in the building. What's up, Drew? Welcome in. Volcanics in the building. Y'all, welcome into the stream. Welcome in, welcome in. How y'all feeling today? Y'all's too cold. Welcome in, welcome in. TJ's in the building. What's up, TJ? Gary's in the building. What's up, Gary? GGZZ.07. Welcome into the chat. Appreciate y'all being here. If y'all are coming in for the first time, especially over on TikTok, let me know where y'all are joining from. Gary's in the building. Is it JIP Jip? I appreciate you being here. Excuse me. Welcome into the stream. Rylan, appreciate you being here. Sabin, welcome in. I appreciate y'all hopping in. Let me know where y'all are joining from, as well as if you make music, what kind of music that you create, how long you've been doing it, stuff like that. Do I know Piano Man, the song? I could play it by ear. I don't know if I know it off the top of my head. Sabin's in California. Let's go. Yeah, I could probably play it by ear. I play a lot of stuff by ear. TJ says, "I'm from England and I'm quite new to music. Name 3 bands I should listen to." Oh, it kind of depends on what do you like to consume, generally speaking. Oh, let's go. I love that. I recommend Lily's in the building. What's up, Lily? Welcome in. I appreciate you hopping in. I've been okay. I've been doing pretty good. The allergies are kind of kicking my ass, but as you could hear, but I'm doing pretty good. I recommend that a lot of people listen to like bands and artists in all different genres through the 80s and 90s when there was a lot of technological evolution. What am I saying? Technological evolution. I feel because you'll see kind of these stair steps that happen in people's creativity that I think it's really helpful to go back and kind of harken back to and listen to, that at least for me personally, am a bit more inspired by than a lot of the modern stuff that's out. Although there are some phenomenal, modern artists. But I like a lot of like 80s and 90s, 70s, 80s and 90s sound design. Of course, there's been a lot of evolution in music throughout the years. Blue's in the building. What's up, Blue? Welcome in, welcome in. I already got you up here. Let me just put you in the right spot. I appreciate you being here. Welcome in, welcome in. And y'all, we're gonna get into some music here in just a little bit. Matt, appreciate you hopping in. Welcome into the stream. If you're over on TikTok, tap the screen like crazy. Tap the screen, share out the live with a few people. And let me double check a few things here. And then Blue, if you wouldn't mind, just resend whatever song you want me to hear, just because it's gonna be pretty far down. Da, 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 da. Remember when we made love, bro? I do not, man. I do not, unfortunately. Patrick, welcome in. People are funny. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, Blue, double check, or just if you wouldn't mind resending that email, just so I could get your track back to the top of my list. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Da 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 do. Yeah, and if y'all are coming in over on TikTok too, let me know where you're coming in from. I saw some other, let's see, G said I'm a new rapper, but in Spanish. I love it, dude. I love it. That's crazy. Probably not the best idea. Lover, excuse me. Gosh, these allergies, y'all. Lovers, welcome in. I appreciate you hopping in. Great name after what we're talking about. If anybody does want to submit, I will explain the whole structure of the live stream here in just a few minutes. We're just going to chat for a minute. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. We'll get moving with some music, with some consultations in just the next coming minutes. Jax, I appreciate you tapping in as well. If you're over on TikTok, let me know where you're joining from. Let me know what kind of music you make, and we'll dive into some details here in a minute. Madeline, thank you so much for tapping in. Chris is in the building. Welcome in, y'all. Let me see. How do I submit? If you want to submit, no, I think it's pretty easy. You just send your file to the email and you just send in the credit to get yourself on the board. If y'all do want to submit, just go to my profile, click on the link. You can just read through all the details there. I will explain the whole live stream structure here in the next like 5 minutes. So hang out for a little bit. Once we get the live moving, we just get some things flowing here. I get organized. I'll go ahead and let y'all know the exact full structure of the live stream and kind of the way that we do it here, what this live stream structure actually is, how it distinguishes itself and stuff like that. No, this is not a free review. Is it undecided? Yeah, this is not a free review. So if that's what you're looking for, there's a ton of places on here, ton of places here on here. It's not even a review in general necessarily. These are super long form consultations, which I'll dive into kind of what that means and what we do here in just like a couple minutes. So let me update a few little email things here, get a couple things refreshed. I got the line up on the purple app. Blue, I got you. I got you. Yeah, of course, Madeline, let me know. Let me get this updated over here really quick. Have you heard of Richie Campbell? This sounds, I don't want to say I have and just be BSing. It sounds super familiar. I got you. Blue, you're ready to go. It sounds super familiar, but I'm not positive. Is there a long wait list? We just got on Madeline, so it's not super. I mean, there's a decent chunk of people up on the board right now. Some that came in yesterday that didn't have a chance to get heard. So it's, I have probably 15 people up there, but you can go faster if you want to. That's completely up to kind of whatever pace you want to go. All of those details are at my profile. If you click on the link, Life Explosion. Thank you for the heartbeat. I appreciate it. Denise, thank you so much for tapping in. I appreciate you being here. All right, y'all, we're going to get into some music. We got Blue in the building, so I have Blue, I think, right where she's supposed to be. Okay, let's dive into some music, y'all. Let's get into some of the details of the live stream just for a second. If y'all are coming in for the first time, welcome to Track Talk. Welcome to the family. I appreciate y'all being here so much. I appreciate y'all stopping by this live stream, even just for a little bit. What we do here at Track Talk are 20 to 30 minute, Leah, thank you for the follow, 20 to 30 minute detailed long form consultations on the structure of your music. This is not a fast review. There is no trash or pass. There are no ratings. There are no polls. This is strictly about spending 20 to 30 minutes, 2 to 3 different times through the structure of your song, listening to your song, to get into the details of your mix and master, production elements, sound design choices, lyric and song structure, stuff like that. The whole structure of this live stream is to offer specific, professional, and actionable feedback on the structure of your music. So if you are interested in that, you can go to my profile. Thank you for the follow. Go to my profile, click on the link, and click on, and you can read through and follow all the details right there. We'll get you up on the board along with everybody else. If you want to check the line, you can check the line by going to the red app, YT. That's where the line always is. That way you can always see the line, the order, the minimums, where your placement is, and stuff like that. So once again, if you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link. But these are really long form breakdowns. This is not a quick review. This is not a space where I'm not here to hype you up. I'm not here to trash you. I'm not here to roast you. I'm not here to tear you down. But I'm also not here to like give you exposure and hype and stuff like that. That is not necessarily the goal of this live stream. If that happens, like if you get some exposure, cool, that's great. But it's definitely not my priority in creating that. My priority is really to get into the details of your music, dive into the nuances of what you're doing practically and creatively, and hopefully offer some specific and like I said, actionable feedback on the structure of your music. For those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. That is what I do for a living. I've done that for 13 plus years. At this point, 14 plus years. Keep forgetting I'm getting older. 14 plus years. I'm also a classically trained musician. So the structure is really to make sure that we are approaching everything from that perspective. How is that mic on? Is it 10? Yeah, it starts at 10. Can you sing to you? I'm not familiar. Sorry, I'm trying to go back. Let me say. His priority is making money. Yes, this is it's a paid service, AJ. It's not a free thing. Everything that you do that you pay for has a priority to it. 100%. How's that mic on R&B and hip hop vocals? I like it. Is it Bordeaux? Sorry, I can't read from here. Bordeaux. I like it. This is for those of you who don't know, this is an M147 Neumann. I like it. Yeah, it's a paid service. It's a paid service, 100%. I'm not here like that's all it is. So if I was not doing this, I would just be working on my other projects. So I've got tons and tons. Actually, one of my clients is in here. I've got tons of other work that I got to be doing. So every once in a while, I try to hop on for a couple hours here at the end of my projects. Sometimes it's earlier in the day. Sometimes I'll be working on some session work. If someone hires me for synths or hires me for drums or something like that, I'll spend 6 hours or something like that working on that stuff, and then hop on for 3 hours or so at the end of the day. But yeah, it's definitely, it's like who doesn't need to pay? Yeah, exactly. Free. What's that? Let me see. Okay, can't wait till exactly 100%. All right, let me double check a few things here to make sure that I am set. Let me see. What was it? Oh, you're asking about the microphone. Sorry, you're asking about the microphone. Yeah, it's an M147 Neumann. In my opinion, this microphone is one of my favorites for a lot of what I do. Now, a lot of what I do, what I like about this microphone is it's very warm. It's just a tube microphone. It's very warm. It's saturated. It's very like mellow and very even. It is not hyped at all. A lot of people hate that. A lot of people want like the U87 AI, which is the same price, exact same price as the U87 AI. They want the U87 AI that's like super hyped at the top. You plug it in and it already feels really bright and airy and forward and stuff like that. In my opinion, I don't personally love that because in a lot of what I'm doing, it feels like it's making some decisions for me that I'd rather do stylistically on my own. This gives me a little bit more of an opportunity to do that, feeling a little bit more warm, a little bit more balanced, a little bit more mellow. It's very smooth, very, very, very smooth and very even. So I love this. This is why, this is the same price as the 87. So I had kind of the choice between the two and a bunch of other microphones in the price range, and I went with this one. For me, it does an absolutely phenomenal job. It's really, really good at what it does. But again, some people would hate this. They'd plug this in. Again, it's a nice microphone, but they would plug it in, and then they would feel like it's too dull, it's too mellow. And at the on the other side. Thank you for the heartbeat. I appreciate it. Hold on. I'm getting too many notifications over here. Thank you for the heartbeat, JD. I appreciate that so much. Vouch, what's up? Yeah. When is X Factor? Whatever it is this? I do not know when X Factor is. But anyways, if you want something where you plug it in, it already feels really bright and really sharp, then you're going to be better off with something probably like an 87 or something like that. Even though it's not my favorite, it's not my favorite microphone. Sorry, better than the Shure SM7DB. Just very, very different microphones. So I have a SM7B right here. For those of you who kind of know what we're talking about, this is an SM7B. I use this with an inline preamp, which is I'm backwards over here. Can't find my camera. This is a Triton Audio FET head, which is an inline preamp, which is the same thing that the SM7DB uses. It just has a built-in inline preamp, and that's where you're going to get that boost of energy and without having to use like a FET head or a cloud lifter or something like that. But they're two dramatically different microphones, the SM7B or 7DB versus like a large diaphragm. This is a large diaphragm tube condenser. This is super sensitive, really flat, really even response, and $3,800 depending on where you buy it, versus an SM7DB that's like $500, right? So which is also a cardioid dynamic microphone. So it's just two very different responses to its environment, different patterns, different sensitivities, different frequency profiles and stuff like that. So you're just going to get a very different experience between the two. I would never, so like that's one of the reasons why I have these, right? So we talk about this a decent amount of time, and then we're going to get into some music here in just a little bit. I know I'm moving. I'm missing some comments and stuff too. Deb's in the building. Libby, thank you for the heart me. I have a bunch of random different microphones here, but I have them for different reasons, right? Like this is very like warm, saturated, and mellow. This is solid state, and it's very bright and brittle, almost harsh in my opinion. Bright. This is another Neumann, very bright and brittle. This is also, it is not very sensitive. This is a cardioid dynamic microphone, right? So I like having different microphones for different reasons that do different things. You just have to understand your source, understand what it is that you're tracking, and get the right tool for the job. And even if you end up with something just cheap for a certain amount of time, right? If you just have a AT2020 for a long time and maybe it's not perfect for your vocal, you just learn how to use it, right? You get creative and you get inspired with the tools that you have. And then when you have the capacity or when you hit the limitations of maybe one of the tools that you are using and you have the financial capacity to move it forward, to move forward and upgrade a little bit, then you can always upgrade. But to me, it's not like a necessity. Nothing wrong with the SM57. 100%. I've got 3 of them in here, or 2 of them in here, 3 of them, something like that. I've got one on the snare. I've got one on the snare bottom there. I've got those, or I've one on a guitar amp back here. You can't go wrong. Just get like the trio. Get the trio from Shure. Get a 57, a 58, and a 7B, and you can do most things that you want to do, especially in a fairly untreated environment. It's gonna, Dolamello is about it to take some EQD. 100%. I posted a video on this like a couple days ago. I posted a video on this. One of the reasons why I like this microphone is because it takes to processing beautifully, right? Like some other microphones feel so like rigid in their response that anything you put on it, it just feels too distinct, feels too sharp, too brittle, and stuff like that. On the other side of it, this microphone, part of it is that it's a tube microphone, right? So it's already naturally, Dev, thank you for the pop. I appreciate you so much. It's already a naturally very warm and saturated microphone. But it takes to processing beautifully. So I can dump a lot of processing on this thing if I had to, if I'm working with an artist that I'm recording, and we can dump a lot on here, and it doesn't sound, brittle and harsh and nasty. Like, it does a really good job. Steven, this is a Neumann M147 tube. Neumann M147 tube. And we were talking about a couple different microphones here, but that's the one that I'm talking through right now. Thank you, Janelle. I appreciate you a lot. All right, Deb, thank you for the roses. I appreciate it a lot. Y'all keep tapping the screen. Share out the live with a few people. We're gonna get into some music. Let me update a couple things here. Let's see. Blue, sorry, I'm seeing some messages over on YouTube really quick. Hold up. Let me update a few things. Give me a sec. Let me update a few things here. Let me see who this is really quick. Okay, Blue, I got you up on the board. Alejandro, I got you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your submission. Let me get you up here as well. Let me just make sure that it is the right name. Beautiful. I appreciate you so much. Is it Tango? Tango right there? Beautiful. Let me get Tango up here. I appreciate that. Let me get you in the right spot here. And then, I'm sorry, I was missing some questions on the purple app. So give me just one moment. I'm sorry, the red app over here really quick. Yes, I do, Janelle. Yeah, I did explain the whole thing, but I'll explain it here in just one moment too. Yeah, we're gonna dive into a whole bunch of music. Let's see. Blue said I should have sent gate kept beat, something that isn't out yet. I need to get a mic like that one. I would encourage. I mean, again, I'm typically not the person. Just everyone's in a different financial position and takes their music seriously at a different level, right? Everyone's kind of in a different space. So I feel like you should move at the pace of your skill. I think a lot of people. Like, for instance, a lot of people buy a cheap microphone and they can't get it to sound good at all. And they haven't gained any tools or any knowledge to actually improve on those skill sets of like tracking technique and proximity control and angling and all of that stuff, right? They don't get good at the technical side of just tracking their own vocals, and they think that the mic is the problem. And so then they spend a whole bunch of money and realize they wasted a whole bunch of money instead of getting good at your skill sets early on with like stock instruments and stock plugins and cheap microphones, and then building when your skill set surpasses the quality of the microphone, which is the way that I've always approached and increasing the value and the and kind of the quality of the gear that I have here in the studio. Good thing I dance. Dancing is cheaper. Dancing is free. Dancing is, unless you're getting training. But dancing is a lot cheaper than this music game. It can be kind of brutal sometimes. But yeah, that's the way I've always approached it, is like if I am reaching a pain point that is not strictly just a skill thing and there's a specific texture, color, character that I'm looking for, I'll upgrade, for that reason. Or I'm running into even like I have like some cheap guitars and stuff like that in here. I have some expensive guitars in here. Some of the cheap guitars, they don't hold tune very well. The wood is not nearly as strong, maybe not as resonant with certain acoustics and stuff like that. So there's pros and cons to expensive versus cheap stuff, right? But I would just encourage people to do what's in their capacity to do, but there is a difference. There is a difference between cheap and expensive stuff. You just have to learn what the tool is and understand what's right for you and your use cases. The mic I have is great. Oh, hold on, let me catch up here. I need to get a mic like that one. The mic I have is great, but I have to hold it. LOL. Would love to have one. Hey, I appreciate you. But okay, let me double check that here in a second. Let me get everything updated, and then I'll answer a few things, and we'll get into some music. Okay. Hey, I appreciate you so much, Life, and I'm going to get you some updates here too. So I'm excited. We got a good flow. Okay, Packy, thanks for tapping in. Got you, Jaya. I got you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna push you up, Jaya. I'm gonna push you up. That's what that does. Derek Bennett's in the building. What's up, Derek Bennett? Thanks for tapping in, man. I appreciate you hopping in. I think someone asked about a preamp. This is a tube microphone, so this sounds already pretty good going into what I'm going to, but I do have a tube preamp as well. It's let me see. It's an A. What is it? It's a voice channel from ART. It's a tube. It's running into a tube preamp, EQ, and compressor. I have it just kissing it going in. Gives it a little bit of edge, especially like I said, this is a very mellow microphone. It's very even keeled and very, very clean. And so I like giving it just a little bit of edge. So I'm pushing the tube just a hair, pushing the gain going in just a hair, and then a little bit of control through the compressor, and then just a kiss of EQ going in as well. So that's all I have going in analog, and then everything else I just process in the DAW. All right, let's get into some music here, and I got you, Jay. And Jay, I'm gonna get you pushed as well because that's what we do. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much. Let me get that where it's supposed to be. Let me get everything updated here. A line is updated over on the red or purple app. You can tap in over there. I'm glad to hear that, Derek. I appreciate. Thank you for the heart me as well. I appreciate that a lot. Really quick, for those of you who are coming in for the first time, these are 20 to 30 minute consultations for your over your mix and master, production elements, sound design, lyric and song structure. To really get into the details and nuance of your music, we are going to give you professional, practical, and actionable feedback on what you're doing creatively and practically. If that's interesting to you, go to my profile, click on the link, just read through and follow all the details there. We do have a chunk of people in the line, so just make sure you read through all of the details. You can go and see the line order and minimum right there as well, to kind of get into the details over there. Is it Beezy Boy or Beelsy Boy, something like that? I can't read from this far. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it a lot. Once again, please do not link it in the chat here. You will not get played. If you do want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then read through and follow all the steps there. Line is over on the red app, YT. You can go and see the line order and minimum over there. I'm sorry I've been missing that live and really sick, and then YT was just being too. Yeah, YT, I'm sorry you were feeling sick. So sorry about that. But yeah, YouTube can be weird with the notifications and stuff. So hopefully it all works out. Okay, we got Jaya in the building. Jaya's over on the red app. Jaya's over in the red app. So if you wanna tap in with them, tap in over there. Let's get into it. This is an old beat and my first beat I made with Soundtrap. Okay, let's get into it. This is Love Me by Jaya Lewis. This is just a production as far as I know. Let me know if you have any particular goal with this production, Jaya, because I've heard some of your productions before that I know are for just particular use cases and just for you to kind of flex that muscle and learn it. Let me know if you have a goal with this production. If you want to get an artist on it or you want to get yourself on it, let me know. But let's get into it. This is Jaya Lewis. Let's go, Jaya. I wanted to get someone on it, but I know it needs to be shaped a bit more. Okay, cool, beautiful. That's good direction, though. Ooh, I like this little breakdown here. You said you did all of this on Soundtrap, right? It's cool. It's cool. I like it. Yeah, nice. SC Hill, welcome in. Oh, short and sweet. It's short and sweet. Y'all show some love. I thought that was it. I thought we were about to get another drop. That is Jaya. They're over on the red app, YT. So if you want to show some love over there. If y'all are over here on this app, I see some of y'all asking about submissions or dropping your song. Deb, thank you for the bouquet. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for the love. If y'all want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and just read through and follow the details there. We'll get you up on the board. This is Jaya. This is a movie track type beat. Let's run it from the top. I'm excited for you to build this out more because this is short and sweet. It needs another drop. It needs a little bit more structure. It needs to expand a little bit, especially if you have plans. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And if you have plans to build this out for an artist to get on here, then we definitely need some ebb and flow. We need some dynamics. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's a vibe. Let's run it from the top. Let's get into some details. This is Love Me by Jaya Lewis. Let's dive into it. Let's go. Not only, Cody, not only do we, this is, we're the other direction. Not only do we not only do we listen to the whole song, we listen to the whole song usually like 3 times. we spend about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes per track. So every single artist, producer, engineer, musician, vocalist that sends in, we spend about 20 to 30 minutes listening to their song 2 to 3 different times, getting into the details of mix and master, production structure, sound design choices, lyric and song structure, stuff like that. So yeah, it's way past listening to the full. It's like too long. It's too long. We spend too long here. I try to be concise. It doesn't work, but it typically is about 20 to 30 minutes per consultation for the artist in here. Okay, let's run it from the top. Let's get into some details here too. I really do like the delayed introduction of this rolling bass in the background too. Like this warm pad really gives you a lot of energy and a lot of dynamics here. There's a couple little things that I think if you still have access to the production itself. What's up, Hydra? Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing fabulous. If there's a couple things we can talk about, would be maybe compartmentalizing a little bit better and making this feel a little bit more under the same umbrella. There's some moments that come in. Part of it is, I think, when the sax comes in, where there's so many elements that kind of compete for where the lead vocal space is going to be, that it's going to be difficult, even though it sounds cool as an instrumental. If this were just a 90-second instrumental for the background of a YouTube video or something like that, right? If this was just like a like loose placement for, Artless AI or whatever it is, right? Or IO or whatever they call it nowadays. If this is just like for the background of stuff, living alone as an instrumental, you might be fine because you're introducing a lot of new lead elements, right? Pianos, pads, synthesizers, some bell tones. Jenna, what's up? Appreciate you tapping in. You introduce the saxophone and some other elements, strings and things like that. So you have a lot. You have a lot, right? I got you, Hydra. I got you. You know I got you. So you have a lot going on right there. There's not a lot of space for that vocal to live there, right? For if you were to get another artist on here, there's not a lot of space carved for that vocal to exist, not only in the mix, not necessarily just in the mix, but also just in the amount of activity and movement there is for lead elements right there. So I would do some stuff to hopefully gain some clarity within that pocket right there. Got you, Hydra. I got you. I'm going from the top. This is just short and sweet. Is it Asriel? Am I saying that correctly? Or Asriel? Thank you for hopping in. Go to my profile, click on the link, just read through and follow the details. For this to be my, got you, Hydra, got you. I appreciate you, man. For this to be my first beat ever, I was a bit impressed. And yes, 100%. See, like in these early moments here, remix. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow all the details right there. We got a bunch of people coming in. In fact, I just got another one coming in. So yeah, just read through and follow all those steps right there. And then I would check the line on the red app, YT. You can find all of that at my profile. That way you can kind of see where everything is. For this to be your first beat, that's definitely impressive. This is from a year ago too. For this to be your first beat, that's very, very, very impressive. Everything technically is cohesive, rhythmically, key-wise, movement scaling and everything. It's definitely impressive. So this little pocket, I'm assuming you're using some like loops built into Soundtrap. Is that correct, Jaya? Is that correct? I'm assuming that like a lot of this, like a guitar that you're dropping in is like loops that they had already in Soundtrap that you kind of applied to the beat, right? That you like drag and drop in there. I'm gonna back it up here just a little bit. Okay, makes sense. Nothing wrong with that. Hydra's like, please, for the love of God, make sure. Hydra's like, whether or not it's true, tell me that mine is finished. Okay. So here, I think a little bit of what I'm running into is you have this nice burst of energy from the guitars, right? This overdriven dun, 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 and it's matched with like a really gritty bass underneath it. All that's fine, right? It's a nice little sonic transition. This to me is kind of like your hook, right? This is giving you a little bit of a hook. I would love for that to be supported by the rest of the production just a little bit, right? Because right now you keep Marshall Welcome in. Right now you largely keep, and thank you for the harmony, I appreciate it, man. You keep largely the same sound design. So like your percussion, some of your other synthesis, your hats and stuff like that, all stay exactly the same through the transition. It's like largely all of the same sound design right there, but then you have a big shift and a big burst in energy when you bring in the overdriven guitars, right? So you have all of this additional space that happens right there that's not necessarily supported by the way the beat builds in. I would definitely add probably for your hook structure here, since you're a little bit more percussive, a little bit lighter during your verses, I would add some like heavier drums going into this hook that can support like a really nice, like solid, like heavy, you know, nicely saturated kick and snare, even if it's still kind of trap based, if you want to stay in that vein, a nice saturated kick and a heavy snare that gives a little bit more weight, because everything's still kind of thin and still a little bit open. And I wanted to have some weight when the guitars come in. Otherwise, the guitars kind of live in their own space, and they're not really connected. How heavy? Oh goodness. I mean, that's kind of up to you creatively, right? Like that's kind of up to like what you want to do. It doesn't have to be insane. It doesn't have to be insanely heavy. Just something that's got a little bit more. What am I on over here? Let me switch to something here. Let me play around with something. Let me play around with something. Do 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 do. Leska, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Okay, let me see. Just really briefly. Let me. Do I go battery or do we go? We're gonna go contact. We're gonna open up contact just for a second, and I'll actually, you know, I forget I can switch over here. I forget I can switch over here so y'all can see over on the red app. All right, let's see. Where is my da? That's wild. That's wild work. Let's see. There's a specific it's wild work. That's wild work. Okay, killer Hydra. Got you. Astro, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details. Check the line on the red app. Okay, what am I looking for? What am I looking for? Not retro machines. I'm trying to find which one of my... I just can't remember what it is right now. That is what I was thinking of. That is what I was thinking of. I love Contact. Is it Drum Lab? Hold on, let me see. No, I don't think it is. Hold on, give me one. Another tremolo. I gotta find these drums real quick. Huh. What am I missing? What am I missing here? Oh, look at all these. Look at all the goodness here. Oh, because I want to show you kind of a little bit of what I'm imagining. It might be here. This is one of my favorite. I don't know if I mean, Hydra, you don't really have a use for this. I don't know if you have rudiments, but I've been obsessed with rudiments lately. It's one of my favorite drum plugins. I'm using it a lot on a couple Beautiful. Ooh, I like that. I like that. That's cool. I want to make sure I see the vision. Yeah. Okay. Let me Okay, I'm gonna back it up here for a second. Let's kind of see what we're doing. This all has a pretty similar profile. Hear how open this is? Like I want to hear the contrast. We're gonna wake this up even more. Like I said distorted. So we're gonna, let's take this, just gonna heat it up a little bit. Just heating it up a little bit. We're gonna go down about 3 semitones. Okay, so here's like a little bit of what I'm talking about. Now, obviously, this is not exactly it, but I just want to hear the contrast between how light this gets. I'm gonna go before. Here. The difference between even how light this feels and versus what's here. It's so dainty. It's so dainty, which again, like there's nothing wrong with that existing there. But if you're going to go dainty while the rest of the production feels really like heavy, like you have all this like power chords, overdriven electric guitar, I think you need a it needs some heaviness. It needs some tension, right? Like it needs a little bit more drive. So that's why I think that like, and again, you can see the instrument that I'm using. You can literally just use it, but you get the idea. This is just, it's heavier, it's darker, it's saturated. It's got a whole bunch of weight to it. That's what I would look for. Even if you don't have it on the rest of it, you could go really light. And, you know, there's a cool contrast to like having a really like, just as an example, if I switch back here for a second. Yeah, you get the vision. You know what I'm talking about. Let me get out of here for a second. The idea of having this kind of, you know, like really like high, thin, tinny, bright pianos, and then these really like thin, kind of dainty drums on the verses that makes you kind of crave a little bit more heaviness, crave a little bit more like energy and dynamic and body and presence. And then giving them that on the hook instead of keeping it dainty the whole time. Give them some weight, give them some presence going into the hook. I think that to me would open this up like crazy. If you do that alone, I feel like you'll have a really, really cool production structure in your hand. Let me skip to the last part because it's really only an A and B section right here. If you listen to Sam Fender, if so, what are your thoughts on his music? The name sounds, I would have to hear a song or if you let me know a song of his, maybe the name sounds really familiar, but I don't know if I'm thinking of the right person. Okay, even all this here, to me, these, like, hold on. This, to me, the sax is a little bit out of place to me here, just because everything else feels like this dark trap beat, and then the sax is in there. If the sax is in there, I would probably affect it a little bit. I'd probably pull it back by 3 or 4 dB. I'd probably add like a flanger to it or a chorus to it, like a tight, like 0.1 second plate reverb to it. Like make it feel a little bit more dark and moody and modulated and give it some kind of interesting effects. So it doesn't feel too like dry, you know, so it doesn't feel like it's just kind of a new lead element. That'll also help it feel like there's more space for vocal because that's not kind of right there in your face. Same thing, we're talking about these drums right here. Same thing when you're going here. These strings are killer. It's such a different pacing. It's such a, do you ever do collab streams? I do not. Hey, thank you for tapping in. Appreciate you being here. Miranda's in the building. Thank you for the TikToks. I appreciate you so much. Jay Steele is in the building. Jay Steele, thank you for tapping in, right? The weight of those drums makes all the difference in the world, right? Now, I like that you open this up right here. I like that you open it up right here. Now we just need to add on the rest of the section, right? Now it's just a matter of creating a little bit more depth a little bit more energy, a little bit more presence on your hook specifically, giving it the edge that you're, not that, giving it the edge that you're looking for on the drum side, support it with the bass side, and pull back some of those lead elements like the saxophone, affect them in a way that makes sense, right? Affect it in a way that, you know, feels like it's more cohesive with the rest of the production structure. And then bring in another verse, right? As soon as you finish this section here, love the old cello in there. And then at the same, as soon as you finish that segment of their post hook, you get a whole other big breakdown. Don't do it like that. Do it with the heavy drums, and then you're back into it. You're right back in the mix again. Grady's in the building. What's up, Grady? Miranda, thank you so much for tapping in. I appreciate you being here. Soon there will be a Hydra Torvik live production stream, though. Maybe. I think it'd be sick to collab with some other musicians, have two people reacting to music. I did that with Libby for a long time. Grady, it's so good to see you. I appreciate you. Ooh, let's go, Grady. I like to hear it. With Libby, my wife, who's here in the chat, I don't know if she is right now, but she is occasionally. We did some stuff with her because we own our company together. And so we've done, YouTube's not working. What do you mean? Is YouTube not working? Hold on. Let me check. But yeah, we used to do some combined stuff. Can someone check? Oh, Blue. Wait, no, Blue's on YouTube. So it is working. Wait, Blue, is it working for you? Because I have people in the chat right now. You might just need to refresh or like exit and come back in. We'll set phones on fire. It's true. Yeah, wait, Blue's on YouTube, and they're responding. Yeah, just try. Yeah. It's right. Yeah, this says it's working. Yeah, just swipe out and swipe back. It's probably just some weird glitch. Yeah, swipe out of it, swipe out, close the app, and come back in, so on and so on. Hey, I appreciate you, Remix. Yeah, definitely. All right. Yeah. So yeah, try swiping out and swiping back in. You should be good to go. Okay, let's keep it going. Shout out to Blue. Blue, I appreciate you so much for sending this in. I appreciate you so much. Jaya. I appreciate you sending this so much. Shout out to Jay. That's the family right there. We appreciate you so much. Let's get into the next track. I'm going to try to move at a good pace here. We've got Hydra in the building. Let's move at a good pace here, y'all. I appreciate y'all tapping in so much today. Shout out to Jay one more time for that production. Let's get into this next one. I've heard this track a couple times already, so we're gonna get straight into it. Hopefully it's an affirmation of the master, and then we're done. We'll go back through it a couple times still. But I'm excited to get into it. Bless you, Joseph. I see you, man. Thanks for tapping in. All right, let's get into some of these. Let's get into some of these details here. We've got Sane, SANE by Hydra, Supernatural, Master number 3. Let's dive into it. If anybody does want to submit, you definitely still can. I got probably 6 or 7 tracks left today. So go to my profile, click on the link, just read through and follow all the details there. Check the line over on the red app or purple app, YT, over on, you can find all of that there in my profile as well. Keep tapping the screen like crazy. I would love to do some giveaways as well. I'd love to do some credit giveaways. So if we could get to 20,000 likes, y'all tap the screen like crazy. We'll do some giveaways as well to help get you up on the board, get you a skip, stuff like that. Let's dive into it. The skip is over on the red app. So go to the red app, YT, got to kind of use your imagination on TikTok. Go to the red app. You can find that at my profile. That's the full stream where you can get the full experience. Okay, this is Hydra in the building. He said, please be finished. Let's go. Shout out to Hydra. Hydra's the family. I love it. Don't spam the chat. I don't want you to get muted. Just go to my profile, click on the link, and then you'll see all the details there. Limiter's 100% okay. Beautiful. Got you, Grady. Got you. Jason, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Welcome to the dark side. The audio's way better too. You'll love it. It's weighty. We got two Grady tracks? Is that what you're saying? Kick is clean. Kick is clean. here, Tango. Go listen on the Red app. The mix is not going to be accurate on TikTok. Yeah, it's a different experience. Because I know the breakdown coming that's about to fill out like crazy. The low end fills out like crazy, so it's a little bit thinner for that purpose. All right, let's get Grady up here. Shout out to Grady. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Vocal forward, or do you want it pulling back? Let me know. Here comes the build up. Got you. I just want to know the intention, because it gets swallowed by the instrumentation. But if that's the intention, I want to keep it as is. You're up there, Grady. I got you. I appreciate you, man. Build up and after. Got you. Got you, got you. Slowly expanding the volume there too, and the width on your automation there. Yeah, it's so much better, Blue. It's so much better. Thank you for the follow. Perfect, Grady. Got you. Love the movement there. Great panning. Tango, tango, tango. I got you, Tango. I got you. I got you. Hey, welcome in. I got you, man. It's pretty long, but you can skip. I do actually, hold on. I get to, I'm gonna finish it out. I'm listening for something. I'm kind of curious if you muted something on the output. On your render. Sound design's beautiful. Structure's beautiful. Y'all show some love to the family Hydra right here in the building. I'm going to chop through some things immediately. Tango, I got you, man. Tango, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for that. Let me get you moved where you need to be. For those of you all coming in for the first time, I appreciate y'all tapping in so much. Thanks for joining the stream. If you do want to join the line, if you want to get into what we're doing here, then go to my profile, click on the link, and just read through it and follow all the steps. I understand that not everyone likes country music, but it's a story. It tells that's the truth. 100%, Jason. I agree. And this is not a string with a genre bias. This is not a string with a genre bias at all. We're going to listen from everything from the EDM electronic records from here straight into a progressive metal track, into a trap beat, into a country song, into a pop artist. It's going to be all over the place. We get a ton of variety here because we go into such detail. It's a very analytical space. So we always get a huge variety of artists. So you never have to worry about like, is this all going to be like 17 trap beats back to back or something like that? You're going to get a lot of variety here. Okay. But once again, if y'all do want to submit, please go to my profile, click on the link, and then read through and follow the details. But please check the line first because you'll want to see kind of where things are sitting. Let me get Tango pushed really quick. Tango, I hope you're still in the chat. Let me see. I appreciate you so much, man. I really, really appreciate the love. And let me know too, really quick. Yeah, go to my profile, click on the link, and just read through and follow all of the details. If you do, I'll be notified. We'll get you up on the board. And then Tango, let me know if you just want to push straight to the top or if you are running multiple, just so I can keep it clear. That'll obviously guarantee you for sure that top spot right there. Or if you are wanting to have a multiple, then let me know. That way I can organize that on the board as well. Nova's in the building. What's up, Nova? Welcome in. Beautiful, beautiful. Yep, you got that guarantee, man. I appreciate you so much, Tango. Shout out to you, man. I really appreciate the love. Let me get that pushed. And let's, this is not out yet. Okay, I'm going to chop through a couple things really quick, Hydra, and then we'll skip through and we'll chop through a couple things because I know the vast majority of your sound design is finished. Hold up. We're going to drop it. We're going to drop it into Pro Tools. Give me a second. Indonesia, welcome in. Thank you so much for tapping into the stream. We're going to drop it into Pro Tools. I'm looking at something. I'm hearing something. I want to confirm what I'm hearing. Let me download this. To be Trace is in the building, or Tracy, welcome in. I appreciate you tapping in. If y'all are over on TikTok, make sure y'all are sharing the live, tap the screen, send it your heartbeat for the day. It really does help out the stream, as well as get us 2 more giveaways. I want to do a giveaway coming up here in a bit too. All right, let me see. All right, we're dropping it in. Let's see what's going on here. Captain Hydra. Let's see what's happening here. Let's see what's happening here. It shouldn't show up there. All right, let's go in here. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Is it Kevin? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. Oh, right. What am I doing? I actually don't know what I'm doing. That's not what I wanted at all. Not even looking at the right thing. Okay. Solo. All right. Pizza 140. If anybody does want to submit, thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and just read through and follow all the details. Okay. There's the low. Vincent, thank you for the follow. Jason, that is incredibly unfortunate. I'm so sorry to hear that, man. And feel free to just hang out. There's no rush. There's no pressure. It's an amazing community. We always try to offer as much value as possible to help out people that are looking to improve on their craft, whether that's mixing and production and stuff like that. Whatever it is that you're looking for, man, hopefully either myself or people here in the community, we have some amazing, really, really talented people in the community that can help you out as well. So I really, really appreciate you tapping in. There's no pressure to submit at all. Okay, I'm going to list for a couple things here. Skipping around. through some stuff here. Chopping through some stuff here. Let's see. Okay, I'm hearing, we're getting obviously loudness. I'm gonna drop this a couple in here. We're getting the loudness. Here's what I'm hearing, and I'm kind of assuming this might even be a little bit of what Tango is picking up on a little bit here. We are getting the energy from the kick. We are getting the transients. We are getting all of this slice, all of this punch. Everything is bright, it's punchy and slicey. I'm not getting a lot of the fundamental of the progression itself. Got you, Nova. Got you. Let me, I'll get that updated here in just a second. I got you, man. Thank you so much. In fact, I'm thinking about it, so let me get it up there now. I appreciate you. Let me get you up here. Beautiful, beautiful. Boom. Keep in mind, y'all, definitely make sure y'all are keeping up with the line over on either the red or purple app. That way you can kind of see where you're at. Let me get this. Let's see, Grady right there. Boom. I got you in spot. But I'm not here. So like right now. So I think, okay, I'm gonna get this out of Pro Tools. I don't need it in Pro Tools anymore. What's up, Wubsy? Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing absolutely beautifully, despite how crazy this life is. I'm gonna hear it back over here. So okay, here's what I'm listening for. A little bit, but I do also think that we're missing a little bit of. So if you actually look at the response of this, like so I pulled it up on Pro Tools. So on the red and purple app, they can see Pro Tools on the screen, so you can see everything that's going on. It's the kick's super heavy. The kick is super, super heavy. So there's a lot of low end information, especially between like 30 and 50 hertz. So there's a lot of subharmonics. There's a lot of energy down there. What I think I'm picking up on is that the tail of that, the low bass, is not really giving me any clarity to the progression. It's like I hear all of the synths, I hear all the vocals, I hear all the fuzz and the brightness and all that stuff at the top right here. And then I hear like the transients of the kick, but I don't get any of the actual like weight in the low mids, like, 300-400 hertz and below, where a lot of like the upper range of that bass would sit. It might be that I put rolling bass line too low in volume. So what you might want to do, a life is a wild ride for Sir Hopeful. So same Wubsy, an absolute wild ride, man. But I appreciate you stopping by even just for a little bit, man. I appreciate that a lot. It is a wild ride. Yeah. And again, a lot of this stuff is also going to be played in like clubs and festivals and stuff like that, where those subs are going to eat up a lot of this range, and it's going to push it like crazy. I should, let me see the other one. Let me see. Yeah. On the 9th, I believe. Let me see. Let me hear the difference. Still kind of the same. That's where the progression is, but the octave is an octave high, right? So, and not in a bad way. That's where it sits, and it sounds really good in that range. But I want to hear. So that's all in this octave right here. Thank you for the heartbeat. I appreciate it. Right, that's where a lot of the actual like bass line sits, right? I need something here. I need a sub here that even just matches that. that creates a little bit more low energy right there. Let me see. You know how we do it here. I know you said you were done with it, and largely most of the other production structure it is. I'm not trying to like beat you up with this record, man, because you've been working at this one for a minute, man. Fire and Flesh, thanks for tapping in. These are Focal Clear MGs. Focal Clear MGs. Love them. If you ever get a chance to listen to them, they're probably some of the best sounding headphones out. I love them. Let me see. What am I looking for? I'm not searching things easily. Expand to. Okay, let me just hear something. Yeah, so it's like an octave up, and so I'm missing the low. I'm missing the low. Yeah, if anybody wants to submit, the line is still open. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and just read through and follow all the steps. We got a decent chunk of people on the line, so if you want to move forward, you can. No pressure, though. Okay, synths here. Let's go. We don't need all these soloed. Hold on. I think we need either like a Reese or a sub that's chained with something here. So let me let's do this. Let's do this. That's where like I'm gonna drop the cutoff, so it's just sub. I know that sounds crazy, and this is gonna be too much. I'm gonna do too much in order to show you the contrast that it creates, right? Just following the E, D, B, D in this case. Yeah. And I think the sub could be chained with the kick, right? So you get a lot of that low energy right there, but we're just missing some warmth between like 100 and 400 hertz. You get a little bit of snappiness from your kick. It's a very transient, it's very bright. You get a lot of snappiness there. And then you get some of those mids and some of the low mids that are cranking out with the synth bass that you have in there, off the EDB-D. But we need a little bit, we need something that's 1 AVA lower. So let me, this is the old one. So let me go to your recent one because that matters more. That's the difference. Come on. Fuck, what's going on? There's too many things happening. Slim, welcome in. Too many things playing at the same time. That just, I'm obliterating our headphones and I am just destroying the stream's audio. But goodness gracious, does it make a difference? Even though it's like clipping and distorted and just literally crushing everything that's going on. It's wild. It's wild. I'm gonna back it up one more time. I'll let it play without it one time. Exactly. Chain it to the kick, give it some attack, and you'll be good. Come on, somebody. Come on. Nasty. Now, to me, this is like it, right? Like most of your, what's up, Alias? Good to see you, man. Thank you for the heart me as well. Good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing amazing. The vast majority of the structure is so good. Most of your sound design is amazing. Your painting structure is great. Your vocals back where you want it. That's all chef's kiss. That's doing what you wanted to do, regardless of anyone's opinion, right? That's doing what you intended it to do. Now, I think it's just how do we fit this in there? How do we make it marry with the kick in a way that doesn't rob you of all of your headrooms where you're slamming your limiter again? Like this is the last missing piece for you. It's just missing the actual weight of that low end. You have like the kick and it slices in and out of the mix that does have some information at like 50 hertz and below, 30 to 50 hertz. There's some subharmonics there. There is some weight there, but you're missing some of the just, I want to feel it. I want it to hit me in the chest, right? That to me is like the last missing piece. It's the last missing piece. As vocal fine post buildup. So here's my perspective. You have your vision for the vocal, and I want to respect that, right? Because you want it to be lost a little bit. You want it to kind of get lost in the sauce in the background there. That to me is fine, is perfectly fine. Even in the breakdown here, this is your most updated one. Little 070 shake vibe here a little bit. You have a little bit of an automation buildup here, volume automation buildup. I don't feel like the vocal ever really gets a chance to kind of sit at the top. I kind of wish if you keep all of your automation lanes the same and you keep all of like your texture and color the same in here, I kind of wish, 070 shake. Yeah, fire. The Mike Dean album. The Mike Dean album is that's just where it's at. Hell yeah, let's go. I love 070 shake. It's fire. It's fire. All right, okay. So on this build up, right? Doesn't it right here like all this stuff here? That's kind of like history vibes a little bit, like an auto tune oversaturated background vocal and stuff like that. It reminds me a little bit of the of that album. That album was something special. That album was something special. I love metal. I love all music. I listen to a shit ton of different music. I listen to a lot of different music. Okay, so my only perspective on the vocal, you want it back, and I understand that, right? You want it back. You want it kind of buried a little bit. We want things kind of, crushed behind the structure of the mix. I totally get that. I still think you could probably push amplitude by like 2 dB to get it forward just a little bit more. I think that's the two kind of things that I'm missing in this thing. The weight from the sub bass and a little bit more clarity from the vocal. While it'll do 2 dB, we'll just put it on top. It'll still be drowned out. It'll still be crazy. It'll still be kind of nasty sounding. Just give it like 2 dB of an edge. Bring in a sub bass that makes sense, that gives it some weight, gives it some presence, and you're gold. That to me is like it. The rest of it is just personal sound design choices that you're making that are your vision for the song. For me, I just want a little bit of an edge. I want a little bit of an edge from the vocal, and I want a sub in there, pulsed with that is actually chained with the kick. And then I think you're golden. I think overall, I think it'll still be back. I think it'll still be back if you do that. Prince, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I feel like it'll still be back, even if you do another 2 dB. Williams, thank you for the follow. If you're brave, if you dare, 3 dB if you dare. Yeah, I think just like 2 dB, just give it a lift, right? Just get it over the top, balance that with some weight from your sub on both of your breakdowns. And then of course you can kind of do what you need to kind of facilitate that and make sure that you're not clipping you're not pressing your limiter too far. Just because I know that was the initial problem is really digging in like 5 dB on the limiter, creating a lot more breakup than you wanted. Westfall's in the building. What's up, Westfall? Welcome in. Y'all show some up. Dude, Hydra, I genuinely think that this time, Hydra, I know we say this a lot. This time, Hydra, I think you're literally like nothing of a revision, and then you're good to go. One like 20-minute, 30-minute revision of just like rebalancing that, adding in a sub on just the breakdowns itself, because I think the other buildups are fine. You don't really need the weight there. Just on those initial like 2 main breakdowns, it needs a little bit of that weight, but it's just like to me that like as soon as I played that low sub, dude, it like warmed my heart. It just like, I was like, oh, there it is. There it is. Toss, thanks for tapping it. I appreciate it. I was like, dude, there it is. That's what it's missing. Because the kick is there and it's transient, it's sharp, but it's missing the weight. It's missing the body. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate y'all so much. But y'all, please give it up. 12 ICR5 can handle any sub I throw. I know it can. It'll take whatever you dish at it. So y'all please show some love to Hydra. Thank you for the heartbeat. I appreciate you a lot. Hydra is a beast of a musician. He's an incredible producer and very credible composer and producer. So please show some love and support to Hydra, Music by Hydra. You can definitely find him on all platforms as well. He's an absolute animal as a producer, as a DJ, stuff like that. So show him some love and support. That's the family right there. We love you, bro. We love you so much. Yo, can you play a song? I can play some songs. I do like metal, 100%. If y'all do want to submit, we're going to get into the next couple songs here. We got Tango in the building right now. We're going to get into the next couple tracks. If y'all want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, just read through and follow all the details. Please check the line first over on the purple app or the red app. All of the line, the order, the minimum, the full live, better audio, all of that stuff is over on the red or purple app. You can go to my profile, click on the link. You'll see the details there. Okay, shout out to Hydra. Of course, man, anytime. You're right there. You're literally right there. You're right there, man. It's so close. So close. I mean, all of your sound design's finished. Okay. This is just a demo being sent on TrackStack and Label Radar. Okay, beautiful. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Play Look Right Through. I know 1 trillion. I know 1 trillion %. It ain't mixed. Okay, or mastered. Got you. Beautiful. Oh, my bad. Boop, there's the line. My bad. Sorry. I forgot to throw up. I forgot Pro Tools is up because I need another screen, y'all. I need another screen. Okay. Let me clear this out right here. We got Tango in the building. Let's go. It's going to be under a different name. 2 years is crazy. Just heads up, if you go live tomorrow, I might not be, I got to take care of a few things for my mental health. I'm so sorry to hear that, Jaya. I'm so sorry to hear that, of course. I remember you talking about that too. Yeah, I completely understand. No pressure, no worries. Yeah, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow all the details there. Okay. This might be under a different name. Let me see if it's under spam. It's not under spam. What's the double check? I'm not seeing. Oh, here it is. I got you. Sorry, I got you. Yeah, I was under a different name. I go by Tango. I'm a DJ producer. Have been making music professionally for 7 years. Now, the track I'm going to send is not mixed or mastered. Currently in the works of being mixed and mastered. This is a full demo. This is Look Right Through Storm. Let's this is a Queen remix. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. I'm excited, man. Let's see. Browser's unable to play it. Let me download it. Let me see. Queen remix. Let's go. Oh, I'm hyped. Storm Queen. Come on. All right, let's dive in. This is Tango right here in the chat, man. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for your generosity, man, and your support. It means a lot. Eddie, thank you for tapping in as well. Larissa, I appreciate you joining. Let's get into it. This is, we got a remix right here by Tango. So Tango, if there's any other details that you would like me to know, please drop it in the chat. Let me know the details as far as like your role in what I'm hearing, right? I'm assuming you're producing and building out this this combination that we're about to hear here and this remix that we're about to hear. But any details you want to drop, I love context. I love details. Let's get into it. This is Tango right here in the chat. Go to my profile, click on the link, and then read through the details there. Let me know, AW4236. Let me know who that is so I can connect it to the right name. That way I know. Sent through Defected Records, over 200 submissions. Whew. What's up, man? How you feeling today? A little like 90s house. What are you producing on, Tango? What's up, Luca? Ableton, let's go. I'll double check. Let me see. It might be under a different name. Yeah, it's Ableton. They said it's Ableton. Eli, thank you for the follow. Let's go, Tango. Go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow all the steps. And where did you send the 10 through, Alicia? Really like your percussion work. Really like the percussion. Panning is great. Silex, welcome in. I'll double check for it after this. I just want to make sure I have the right name because I would have had that up on the board. I set to see. Of course, Blue. It's up to you. You can see the line. What's up, Silas? Good to see you. Automation, vocal chops, percussion, to me, really, really, really strong. I would love to clarify progression a little bit more between the piano and your bass and your low pad. There's a lot of great movement here. Lots of great movement here. Yeah. Nasty. Yo, show some love. Show some love, show some love. That is Gray Hair Wearer. Welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Y'all show some love to Tango. I appreciate you tapping in. I appreciate you tapping in. Thank you so much for to Tango for sending this in. Good evening to you as well. I appreciate you hopping into the stream. That is their remix. Phenomenal producer, man. There's a lot of great things going on here. A lot of great things going on here. So the big thing that I'm kind of beyond, like going from this like going through like the progression of this. I would love to clarify that progression a little bit between the piano, your bass, and your low pad, because I think what's happening is you have, again, really good percussive structure. I think your percussion is fantastic. You really nice panning, your Congo work, all of your automation there is great. Your vocal chops are really nice. They're catchy and consistent. Good automation on your delay and reverb tails. Like there's a lot to love. There's a lot that I think is phenomenal. It's really, really nice. It's tasteful. It's done at a very high level. And then the progression to me and the movement of the piano and like the chords from what's holding on a newt or a tonic and what is moving with the progression to me feels a little inconsistent. And as a consumer, even I'm going to give it production language and engineering language, but as a consumer, as just a listener to the song, I feel like I couldn't quite find my like footing. You know what I mean? Like the kind of grounding nature of it, of just hearing, kind of like what we were talking about a little bit earlier with the sub, but kind of what just like allows me to just feel the song. There's so much kind of popping around here that doesn't feel grounded, that my brain is kind of looking around this way. It's kind of jumping around, and I really want to lock into it. I want to still hear this, you know, I mean, this is a really, I don't want this piano, but you get the idea. Just, you know, a sharp, you know, I just want to hear like a really sharp, punchy progression that kind of carries the undertone there. So I want to dig into that just a little bit. But honestly, a lot of your percussion, like I said, percussion work and your vocal work is fantastic. Really, really well done. Okay, really quick. AW. So okay, AW. Wait, that's Alicia, right? Alicia. That's you, right? On both platforms, so I don't get confused. Let's see. And then. Okay, perfect. I just want to connect the names. And then let me know who just sent the 10. It's catchy. It's got me moving. It's got me moving. Let me know who just sent 10 through the website really quick. And then, okay, and then Alicia, you said, I want to double check for this because I have a bunch of names. I have all the names on the board from yesterday. I have all the names on the board from yesterday. Yeah, right. I know it's all confusing. That's you, Eli. I got you. Okay, so let me get Eli up there real quick. Thank you so much, Eli. I appreciate you a lot. This is Play for Your Set. Let's go. Let's go. Check the line over the red. The line is literally changing every 30 seconds. So check the line over on the Jesus, what's going on here? Hold on. Boom. Oh, yeah, go check the line on the red app. That way you can always see it over there. Because it's long, but it's more modular and it's moving around all the time. Brianna, thank you so much for tapping in. Thank you for the follow as well. Okay, Alicia, I want to lock your. Right, I was winding down. What did you send it through? What did you send the 10 through? Was it through the website? And is there an artist name? Okay, so I've got Morbid, Saint Lotus, APOC, Leo, Bemi, Gutter Pixie, Gabriel. None of those are you, right? Because I'm trying to see who I had on the list. Yeah, and then we're gonna dig into it. We have a bunch of different platforms you can submit to, but everything. But where did you send the 10 through? Like what platform did you send? Alicia, talking to Alicia or Unleasha on this platform. Just so I know where to look so I can get the name on there, because I don't think that was any of your names there. Because I had everyone that got submissions for up on the board there. Okay, so it's through the website. Yeah, and this would have been 2 days ago, I think. So the 16th. So there it is. Okay, I got you. Yeah, it must have been like right at the end. Jose, welcome in. Go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission. I like K-pop. I like all music for different reasons and different times. Okay, let me get Alicia up here. I got you. Yeah, you must have sent it right as I was closing or something, because I had everybody else up on the list already. Yeah, absolutely. Any music, any genre, any level of preparedness or quality. Most people send stuff in that's unreleased. You don't have to, though. You can send release stuff if you want to, but most people do, just because we go into a lot of detail and a lot of depth, and I always try to give as much value. Yeah, I was like, it must have been right at the end because I just missed that one email. Okay, Alicia, you are on the board. You're ready to go. Thank you for that. I'm so sorry for missing that at the very end there. Yeah, if anybody does want to submit, I'm going to update minimums, so I need y'all to keep an eye out on the red or purple app. I'm updating the minimums just because right now we're getting towards the tail end of the live stream, and so we have a ton of people in line right now. We have a lot of people that are moving forward, so I want to update the minimums that way. way you don't submit and you know you can't get hurt. I'm going to try to keep it updated as much as I can. Yeah, we have the rainbow of apps all over the place here. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and just read through and follow all of the details right in there. I got you, Tango. We're diving in. We're diving into Tangos. Let's run it. And then I'll update everything here in a second. But y'all keep an eye out on the other apps. Percussion's beautiful. Love that movement. I mean, that bass line's kind of nasty too. It's got a great movement. But so what you'll hear is, right, it's like that bass line, beautiful. I love everything about it. It's got like an SH-101 kind of a feel to it. I just love the feel. Great movement, right? But it doesn't have like a root, right? Just because of how much movement there is, you don't get that root of the C minor that kind of connects everything. So I love the bass line, but later on in this track, beyond the piano, we need to support it with a line and a progression that feels really cohesive. I'm gonna switch pianos here. I love that bass. Like, all of this is cool. All of this is really cool. Let's open up a nasty sounding piano. I like all this. Okay, let's back it in. Let's back it up here. Okay. So you hear how kind of you have this kind of, and then you kind of fill it in with but there's no progression to match that. You know, that's low. Let me see. There's no like low texture underneath there or low presence underneath there to like support the transitions, especially when you get into your job. Shay, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So that's kind of, now early on, you can get away with this, right? You can get away with a little bit more movement, but I do think we need like one other element because the bass keeps rolling. The bass keeps rolling, doing these arpeggios. It's doing all kind of arpeggios and sequences in the background that are great. They're beautiful. But once that piano starts changing progressions, that's where we need to start to like find a little bit more of a ground, at least going into this next section. So there's this low rolling bass, and I think it just holds on the C the entire time. No, it does move a little bit around. You do have like a movement up to the F. Yeah, so that's what I'm hearing is you have like this low bass that like starts on here and then it's a very slow portamento, right? And I think, Eli, you asked about recording. The entire live stream is recorded to the Red app. YT. So all of the VODs of the entire live stream are saved in high quality in HD on the VODs over on the Red app. So just make sure you're subscribed over there. At the end of the live stream, you'll be able to see the entire live stream. Just go to your, it'll be better quality than whatever you get here from TikTok. You can just literally go back through the entire thing and chop it up and rearrange it, and it'll be a lot better quality. Because the visual and audio is better over there. So you can just go back through the VOD, find your song. It'll be like episode 45 or 46 or something like that. And then you can just screen capture from right there, and it'll be nice and easy. That way you don't have to worry about like catching it right here. That way if you like miss something, you know it's all recorded over there. Yeah. Always make sure it's saved for 2 weeks on Twitch. Purple app, or it's indefinite over on the Red app, so you can see everything. Aiton's in the building. Aiton, how you feeling? But yeah, that way you can go back and see any of the. You're like, oh man, I missed a breakdown. My Wi-Fi went out, or whatever. It's all recorded over there. That way you can see the whole thing. People use that to like send it to their engineers. They can like screen record it, send it to their engineers, or just clip it for content. Whatever you want to do. I have no issues with that. All right, let me get into this breakdown here now. So what's happening, Tango, that I'm hearing, I know you got like 10 minutes, right? Is I hear this long portamento. What's up, man? I appreciate you tapping in. You have this long portamento coming off the C minor, right? So you have this low rolling pad, this low bass with a really long portamento. So it's bending into all these notes that kind of floats up from the C to the D sharp up to the F right there. And then it kind of floats up to where it meets with the piano on the G sharp and then back up to the C. All while the piano is... it's kind of following its own progression, doing a different thing, kind of walking down and then moving back. And they never quite start doing the same thing or complementary things. And that's where, to me, it starts to get a little bit noisy, because essentially, I guess what I hear is the piano kind of doing its own progression and its own rhythm. You have the low bass doing its own bends, progression, and rhythm. And you have a bass sequence, a synth bass sequence in the background doing its own sequence and rhythm and structure, all while there's a vocal chopping doing its own rhythm, its own structure, right? You have a lot of things that on their own are cool and sound good, but once they all start layering together, it starts to get like a little bit noisy, right? You start, everything's kind of doing a different thing. I just need a couple of those things to be moving in the same direction for this to feel a lot tighter and a lot more cohesive. So whether that's getting the bass and the piano off the G sharp, you know, like have the piano and that bass following like the same progression, maybe with maybe one other instrument, at least a couple things moving in the same direction. That way everything kind of lines up. Okay, let me move forward a little bit farther. That to me is like one of the main things that could help this feel a little tighter and a little bit more connected, because each of the elements that you, I like your sound design a lot. I love your percussion. I love your vocal chops. Your automation is fantastic. All of those are fantastic. Really, really well done. I just need more of these elements to line up so that it doesn't feel too busy. Like right there, the bass and the pad are doing their own progression, and the piano's already moved on to a different chord. So that's where you're getting a lot of that tension from. Same thing here, that bass is kind of doing its own progression. I almost want this to just like all be on the, you know... I just kind of want it all to be living in that space, and then maybe all of the bass moves to the G sharp. Like everything's kind of moving in the same direction. I think that would make it feel a lot tighter, because right now I'm hearing the bass doing a completely different note. It's not following the same progression as the piano. Or the bass sequence. There's a lot of cool sound design in here. We just have to get everything connected. A lot of really, really cool sound design, and not even like a bad mix necessarily either. It's just actually sequencing things properly and making sure that the actual scaling, the actual movement right there is really, really connected. Like when you move down to this bass right here, that sequence is beautiful. So even here, I would like pull the piano out for a second here. So it's not constantly, you know, it's not constantly up there at the high end. Even here, break it down to just like the bass and the drums for a second, maybe a few vocal chops. And just have like just break it down to just a really particular structure right there, so it doesn't feel like it's too much of this other stuff happening at the same time. Eli, thank you for the rose. I appreciate you a lot. Because that bass sequence is really nice. Same thing, bass or piano. You know, the bass, or I'm sorry, the piano changes progression right there. Just match it with the bass. Match it dun dun to the G sharp, to the A sharp, back to the C minor. Line all of that up again. Your balance is actually really clean. We just got to get those progressions in line. Excuse me. let me get into this next section here. I know you gotta go quick. Hey. Hey. Good build-ups, good filtering. Thank you for the follow. And then switch. So I would probably just do like a full 4 measures there, you know, the... Full 4 measures, and then go to the G sharp. You can keep a 7. The 7 on the piano allows you to have that spread right there, so you can, you know... 3, 4. There's a G sharp. You know, you can kind of move through it a little bit there, and then you just have the 2 chords. Get the bass on that, get the piano on that, have the, you know, the plucky bass in the background doing a sequence. You lock a couple of those things in there, golden. Like, it's so much more cohesive. It's so much more cohesive, man, because you got the skill, you got the ear for it. Obviously, just in hearing the vocal chops and hearing your percussion structure, you got the ear for it, man. No doubts. It's vibey. Let's get your progression in line. Let's get to the outro here. I mean, I could so hear this, and this has so much potential, so much commercial potential. It's, yeah. Took about 8 hours. Yeah, you got time then. You got time. I mean, some tracks, for some people, 8 hours is a long time. 8 hours is not a long time to me. I feel like years is a long time to me. Some tracks take a lot of time. So if you did this in 8 hours, I just spend another 4. Just spend another 4 finalizing progression, finalizing the balance of that progression, getting all those elements, especially in the low end, lined up with the piano, and then boom, dude, you're golden. You're absolutely golden. It'll be powerful. It'll be powerful. Smooth. Yeah. So much potential. Great automation. Delay tails are beautiful. So you have great automation on your stereo delays as well as your ping pong delays. So your movement in the stereo field is beautiful. You have a lot of ambiance and a lot of openness and vibrancy to this production structure and to this mix. Keep all of that up. Keep all of that up. I just want to get like your sub basses or like your sub, those low pads, get your piano, get like some of those bass sequences in line, and maybe even add like 1 or 2, Eli, thank you for the roses. Even add like 1 or 2 other, you know, I could also hear like a Moog style, boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? Like I could hear like a Moog, like a mini Moog style, like plucky, low, kind of 90s house Madonna bass, you know, at the low end, even like a DX7 style low bass underneath there, just to give you some like texture, some pluck, some attack. It could be really nice as well. But yeah, just make sure they're all doing the same progression. Make sure they're either doing the same progression or they are complementary to the progression. Like I said, you can keep everything on the C sharp here. You don't have to move everything to the G sharp. You can keep some on the C sharp, on the C minor. You can still keep a C minor in the top end. And then on the low end, still have, I hate this piano. I know we're doing it because it's house music, but this piano sucks. Let me move back to my normal piano. Let me get out of here. This is driving me nuts. You can still keep the C minor as a 7th on the low end, right? So if on the C minor on the top, and then you move to a G sharp major on the low end, all of your bass sequences, all of your sub bass, your low rolling pad, if all of that moves to the G sharp major, then your C minor piano at the top, the C minor piano becomes the 7th to that. So you can keep this. And you get the tension from that spread right there. And that gives you a little bit more tension. That gives you, I'm shaking my whole camera, my whole desk here. That gives you a little bit more, what's up, Joel? Good to see you, brother. I hope you're doing amazing. That gives you a little bit more tension. That gives you a little bit more fullness there, but we got to get your pads, your bass, all of that stuff needs to be aligned because your percussion's great. Your structure is fantastic. We really just need to get all of these elements lined up, pointed in the same direction, on the same progression or complementary to that progression so it doesn't get noisy and busy. Because right now, last thing I'll say, thank you for the boxing gloves, Eli. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for the love. right now you have all of your different elements doing different things, different rhythms, different, same key, obviously same scaling, but you have different rhythms, different scaling, different phrasing, different pockets, all playing different melodies and different bass lines, then with a vocal chop over the top. The only consistent part is your percussion structure, right? So just get half of those things in line, half of those things pointed in the same direction, in the same rhythm structure, in the same scaling, to get everything really consistent. You're going to be in a great spot, man. The more that you have pointed in the same direction, the more cohesive and smooth it's going to feel. Y'all show some love. CandiPuff, welcome in. Exactly. Get them in line with the chords with the piano, because the piano, your like house piano at the top is like your main. That's your main structure, right? Like that's kind of like the director of this whole production is where that piano goes. Your percussion, and that house piano. That kind of dictates the entire thing. Matu, welcome in. Good to see you. That dictates everywhere that you go. So make sure your bass is attached to that. Make sure that your bass sequences, your synth sequences all match up with that. So it feels really consistent and really in line. But you're a beast, man. You're really, really talented. Y'all show some love. If you want to submit, I appreciate y'all tapping in. Thank y'all so much for being here. If y'all do want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, just read through and follow the details there. Please check the line first over on the Red app so that you can see the line order and minimums. It does change over the course of the live, so I make sure I get to as much of y'all as possible. Let's keep getting into it. Big shout out to Tango. Tango, I appreciate you so much, man. Welcome to the family. I appreciate your submission. I appreciate your generosity so much, man. I hope that was valuable. I hope that was helpful for you. Let's keep it going. We got Grady in the building. Grady, let me know that you're in the chat. Let me know that you are in the chat. We got time for a few more. They're loving it on YouTube too. Red app, sorry. I'm sorry, TikTok. I'm so sorry. All right. We got Grady in the building. We got a back-to-back from Grady. So we got Forgive. Well, the other one says Forgive too. But these are two different songs, right? What's up, Luke? Welcome in. I appreciate y'all being here. Let's see. At least these are two different songs? And no, it's the exact same. It's the exact same file name. Are you sure it's a different file? Wait, hold on. Or that's a different one. I got you. 57. I see. It's doubling it up in the email. I got you. Okay, play the. No, I got you. It should be good. Yeah, Lisa, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean TikTok. I didn't mean it, TikTok. I'm so sorry. You should be good, Grady. I think I have them both here. It just doubled up in my email. When you responded to it to send the other one, I saw both of them. That's why I got confused. And you said, do the second one first. Forgive, right? Is Forgive the second one? Or is Parasite? Parasite. Beautiful. All right, let's run it. Grady, you know the deal. Give me all of the details. Drop them in the chat. I love hearing your music, man. We're going to go, like we always do, we're going to go back to back, and then we'll break them both down. Let's dive in. Have I heard either of these before? These fresh? Also, I already really like that vocal chop.
Don't think he's someone who's worth saving.
Got you.
His soul was used as somebody's plaything.
Let's go, Grady.
Now he spends the time he won't get back, wishing he could change the past, but he knows it won't do a thing. Take it back, you parasite. Burrowed in me, digging inside. Now it's just been judging up the memories that I wanna hide. Showing to me that I don't
What's up, Skeezy?
like. He's tearing up my life.
Great structure.
Scars made by someone else's desire. Her knife was tearing back
Go to the Red app, YT. You can find out on my profile.
Digging inside. Now it's just been dredging up the memories that I wanna hide. Showing me
Let's go, Grady.
that I don't like. Tearing up my life.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Y'all, show some love. Show some love. Show some love. That is Grady Finch right there in the chat. I'm excited to dive into this. Let's go back to back. So I'm going to go through the other one as well. Let me know really quickly who sent the 10 through the website, just really briefly. Let me know who sent the 10 through the website, just so I can address that really, really quick. And then we'll get moving with this. We'll get moving with this second track. So let me pull up this other one here as well. Just a quick reminder, y'all, to please check the line first. The order and the minimums change over the course of the live. I got time for 3 tracks left. So I always update the minimums to make sure that reflects over there. That way you can constantly see where you're at, where the order is, and how much time there is left. So let me know who that was who sent the 10 over there so I can get that updated. That way I can connect it because I don't have an email in from it just yet either. All right, let's dive in. We got Forgive up next, and we're going to go break down them both, Grady. I already have a couple quick little notes on that first one, but great structure, great melodies on your hook. It's really, really nicely done from a structural standpoint. Let's get the second one in here. This is Forgive by Grady Finch.
Heavy I wonder.
That intro right there has a little bit of like Mariana's Trench vibes a little bit there. Not Mariana's Trench. What am I thinking of? Who am I thinking of? Yeah, Mariana's Trench. Yeah, that is it is. I think that is who I was thinking of. Yeah, that early little fry right there, that little vocal break right there, right at the beginning, really reminds me of Mariana's. I used to love listening to Mariana's. Work in progress, beautiful. Yeah.
Heavy I wonder. I never felt that you needed me. 'Cause everything was under the weight of a soul struggling unnight. Waiting for it all to collapse. So that's why I wonder.
Yeah.
I never pushed you away, but we just meant to fade. But why would you leave me so broken now? I bet you thought you were clever. You're a sociopathic treasure. I can never see your betrayal, even when you're tearing me down. You said you'd be in my life, was sitting on the sideline. What was it worth? Not a thing. But who was counting anyway?
And you produced all this, right, Rigby?
I wonder. I never felt that you needed me. 'Cause everything was under the weight of a soul struggling
Crazy.
unnight. Waiting for it all to collapse. So that's why I wonder. I never pushed you away, but we just meant to fade.
Dynamics are great on this, man. Come on.
Wish you loved me.
Love the formant shift.
I dream of it every
Little altar boy, little oversaturated.
night.
Nice, man.
I forgive you. Is it too late? I promise I'll never complain, even if it's fake. I forgive you.
nasty. Crazy, man. This song's a journey, man. Jesus. Ashanti, welcome in.
I'm being pulled under. I'm struggling when, well, it all collapsed. I wonder.
Yo, show some love. Come on, man. Come on. Y'all, show some love. That is Forgive by Grady Finch right here in the chat, man. Beautiful structure. Incredible dynamic range. That's a massive sounding record, man. Let's get into it. I want to run through Parasite really quick because there's a couple quick little things that I want to dial in on that one, and we'll move on to Forgive, which just has a crazy journey, man. Incredible dynamic range, incredible song structure. Sounds really nice. Y'all, give it up on time for Grady Finch right here in the chat. Leah, if you want to submit, all of the details are at my profile. If you click on the link, all the details are there. You can't submit through the chat, so don't keep sending it through the chat. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and read through and follow all the details. But please check the line first because the minimums and everything are updated. So I do want to make sure that that's clear for everybody that are on the other platforms as well. Jedi, thank you for tapping it. I appreciate you being here. But yeah, if anybody wants to submit, you definitely still can. I only have time for 3 songs left, which is why I am constantly updating. CandiPuff, is that initials TS? I was asking about it earlier. You might have hopped out for a second. Initials TS, is that you? Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Jedi, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. That way I could get these in the right spot here. So let me see. Okay, I got you. Hold on. Got you. Okay, I got your 10. Excuse me. I updated the minimums probably about an hour or so ago because the line filled up so much. If you just send in 10, and that's why I updated over on the red and purple app really quickly too. That way, y'all can always see kind of where the minimums are. It would be 15 minimum to get on right now, just because otherwise, if you sent to 10, you would be too far down. So let me know. There's no pressure. There's no rush or anything. I can either save it for tomorrow. I will be live again tomorrow afternoon, so I can throw you straight back up on the board and the 10 exactly where you are. Or if you want to send 5, I can put you on. In fact, that might skip you to first. It might skip you to first. Let me double check. Yeah, that would put you next as of right now. So let me know what you want to do. I can either hold it for tomorrow's live stream or whenever you're able to come in next. There's no rush. There's no pressure. Or you can send another 5 and I'll get you at the top there. Okay. Okay, let me double check a few things here. Okay, Grady, let's get into it. Let's run Parasite. Let's run Parasite and let's get into the full structure here. There's a couple little production details I want to break down. This is beautiful, man. Really, really good structure to your music. Love your sampling too. Beautifully done. Man V, welcome in. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome into the stream, y'all.
Think he's someone who's worth saving. His soul was used as somebody's plaything. Now he spends the time he won't get back, wishing he could change them.
Okay, so what I'm listening for here, Grady, just from a structural standpoint, is your rhythm composition for your vocals. So you have this, right? It's a A sharp, D minor, C, right? To the A minor. There's largely your progression right there. I'm listening for excuse me, your vocal structure, which is a very clean, right? It's very all of that movement right there is really consistent, and it allows the whole production structure to feel very relaxed, very easy to listen to, because there's no rushing of the lyric structure, no rushing of any other instrumentation. It's very warm, it's very easy. So I want to watch that for the second verse. We're going to listen for that in the second verse. You have a change in vocal structure that sounds a little rushed, like you tried to fit in a couple words instead of finding a different phrase that means the same thing with the same syllable count. And it makes it feel rushed. It makes it feel a little bit awkward when you first start that verse. So that's kind of, that's one of the few things I want to listen for right there. Trevor, I got you, man. I appreciate you so much. I got you.
Past body and wishing he could change the past. Body knows it won't do a thing. Take it back, you parasite. Eroding me,
Beautiful hook.
digging inside. Now it's just been judging up the memories that I wanna hide. Showing me.
Like the melody consistency here is beautiful. Like your structure is fantastic. There's so much that's going on here that I absolutely love. So I think so much of this keep exactly as is. Let's get into the second verse really briefly. Thank you for the follow. Love the like filter gated sample in the background from the intro. All of those little threads, those through lines that you have in your production, I think are fantastic.
Scars made by someone else's.
It's that right there. So all the rest of this is da 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 da. Yeah, of course, yeah. And whatever you send, I got. Anything that you send it. Da 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 da. Right, that's the whole structure right there. All of a sudden, you have this one change only on this one line of the second verse, and it's a little bit awkward. Right here. MTB, do not spam the chat. If you spam the chat, you'll get muted, and I would hate for that to happen. So please stop spamming the chat. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link. We're going to close the line after the next song.
Scars made by someone else's desire. Her knife was tearing back at the fiber. Still he spends the time he won't get back, thinking he can change the facts. Scars made by someone else's desire.
So the scars, scars, someone else. It's the someone else right there. On the someone else right there, I would love to hear a different phrasing of that to make it fit the same syllable count, because it is literally the only time in all of your verse sequences that you get this one rushed lyric. So it feels out of place. It doesn't feel as polished or as professional or as streamlined as the rest of your rhythms and melodies and vocal structure is. Colin, welcome in. Good to see you. Excuse me. Sorry for the allergies, y'all. The rest of your vocal structure is so smooth. This one line right here feels out of place.
Scars made by someone else's desire.
There's got to be a way that we can rephrase.
Scars made by someone else's desire.
Scars. Let's see. Scars are someone else's desire. Exactly, right? It's just matching. So in this case, scars made by the other's desire. Having like a similar cadence, syllable count and stuff like that makes a huge difference, because it literally is. Thank you for the follow, CandiPuff. I appreciate it. I also got you to the top. That little sequence right there for me, it pulls me out of it for a second. Easy fix, recomping that vocal right there, or something similar. Ethan, thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate it. Something right in there just to make this a little smooth, because right now you have this da 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 someone else's desire as opposed to da 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 da. It's a little smoother. It's a little bit easier. So I'll just rephrase that however you can. This is where like kind of cutting the fat in the lyrics can really help to get everything really smooth and really easy. There is not mandatory payment to participate in the live, so you don't have to worry about that. Y'all are all right here participating in the live without payment.
Scars made by someone else's desire. Her knife was tearing back at the fiber. Still he.
You see how the rest of these are super smooth and really even and easy.
Her knife was tearing back at the fiber.
dude, it's so easy. That's why that lyric to me matters so much, because all of this feels so inviting to listen to. There's such great presence and punch behind that vocal. It's beautifully, beautifully done.
Mommy won't get back, thinking he can change the facts. She's the one controlling
Easy. All right, let's get into this main structure here. Let's get into the main structure here. Beautiful, dude.
me, digging inside. Now it's just been dredging up the memories that I wanna hide.
I would also like I would love to hear some like feedback, just like especially like harmonic feedback from the guitars on like the 4 count or something going into some of these breakdowns. You already have all this noise and movement in the background. That's beautiful, by the way. I love it on these breakdowns. Right here. Like right here, right?
Just been dredging up the memories that I wanna.
On the like on I Want, I would love to hear it. You know what I mean? Like just like a harmonic push on the guitar. You know what I mean? You play guitar, so you know what I mean. Just like a 5th fret or 7th fret like harmonic push where you just distort like crazy. Just let it feed back with one push right on like this last break right here.
It's just been dredging up the memories that I wanna.
I go crazy. You kind of get what I'm saying? I know I can't. Yeah, a distorted harmonic. I wish I could. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know if like. I don't know if this will even pull up. Because I don't want to plug in my guitar right now. I'm too lazy. Let me see. Kind of like that. Kind of like this. Kind of like this. Not exactly, but let me fit that in. So
One controlling his strength.
exactly.
Take it back, you parasite, burrowing me, digging
With some sass on it, yeah. All right,
Now
let's
it's
see.
just been dredging up the memories that I wanna
Yeah. Right there, right there. I'm gonna do it again. Just right there. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. So I'm gonna make it more exaggerated. This is exactly what I'm looking for.
take it back, you parasite, burrowing me, digging inside.
So right here, let it break down
Now
first,
it's just been dredging up the memories that I wanna
and then the transition. Like,
showing
obviously way smoother than that, way easier. You know, you get the idea. Like mix that in, do it with your own guitar with the same tone and whatever. Just that little texture that kind of breaks up some of the transitions right there, I think would be really cool. So it doesn't feel too segmented and compartmentalized. I think that would be beautiful. If I paid, can I do it tomorrow? I was like, yeah, 100%, Eli. Yeah, that's why I list all of that in the form and everything that we do for the live stream. If you have to eat, sleep, leave, work for any reason at all, or I get off at the end of the live stream and you haven't had a chance to get heard, I have a detailed list of everyone's names and credit that's left up on the board. That way you can actually, some of the people that came in today that skipped to the front and got heard were from a couple days ago that came back in, got their song straight up on the board so we could hear them then. So you don't have to worry about missing out on your chance. I'll never listen without you. I'll always make sure that you're here for it. So if you need to go for any reason, no problem at all. I'll save you to my list and then hop in tomorrow, the day after, whenever you're able to. Just let me know that you're here. I'll look up your name. I'll throw you straight back on the board. You'll be ready to go, man. I appreciate your patience. I know sometimes it's short, sometimes it takes a long time. So I do appreciate the patience. The queue is probably about 20 or so deep right now. You can move forward, you can skip, so on and so on, but it's about 20 deep right now. Okay, let me actually, let's go to Forgive now. I think that's all I really wanted to mention there was phrasing on that vocal, and then maybe some transitional things you can dig into as you start to mix this and balance it out a little bit more. But let's go to Forgive. Shout out to Grady. Grady, you're a monster, man. This is so good. This song right here is absolutely nuts. Hey, you as well, Eli. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for being here. All right, let's run it from the top.
I wonder,
What an intro to the song too. Beautiful.
heavy I wonder,
That's how you intro a song.
heavy I wonder. I never felt that you needed me, 'cause everything was under
come on.
the weight of a soul struggling all night.
The thing you're just going to run into this one on is spacing, leaving room for that vocal in the mix. You'll probably have to get to some strategic mid-side processing on your guitar bus. That way you can create some space in the middle of the mix for that for the vocal to shine right there in the middle. Your structure is beautiful, but those double track guitars are loud compared to the vocal. They're drowning it out a little bit. So you just need weight, you need presence, you need space for that vocal, which I know you'll get into as you start mixing this a little bit more. But dude, you're a monster. This is so good. It's so good. You already know. I know these are demos. I know this is not mixed yet, so I'm not too worried about that, but I'll say it just because we're here.
Me so broken now. I bet you thought you were clever.
Those are your screams too, dude? Come on, man. Dude, you're an absolute monster, man. Is there any songs that you don't listen to recently? Yeah, we're about 20 deep right now. And I only have time for I think two more songs after this, 2 or 3 more songs after this. So if you want to submit, you still can, but I'm going to close the line here in a little bit. So if you want to submit, just definitely make sure that we're at the tail end of the live now. Definitely make sure that you go to my profile, click on the link, and that's where all the details are. But then go to the Red app, YT. That way you can see the line, the order, the minimum, and so on and so on. That's all over on the other platforms right there. The guy who screamed on the breakdown, is he screaming with you? So y'all have that layered scream right there. I thought it was a Foreman shift underneath because I heard the Foreman shift later on, the little altar boy stuff later on. Of course, yeah, I appreciate you tapping in.
Sociopathic treasure. You leave me so broken now. I bet you thought you were clever.
Got you.
You're a sociopathic treasure. I can never see.
There's a little bit, I don't know if you've done any manual tuning here, Grady. There's some modulation between pitch with the auto tune right here. So you'll hear it catch, try to go a semitone below or a semitone above, and you hear it modulate between. So it sounds a little nasty. Underneath. So right here. I can never see. You hear that little, I can never see. It's trying to catch a note in between because you're probably, or the vocalist is floating like 50 cents with 100 cents per semitone. It's like floating around 50 cents right there, trying to bend that note. And so it doesn't know which one to correct it to. I haven't done that for his, okay, beautiful. Yeah, so I caught it right there at 46 seconds. So double check a couple of his lines right there. Manually place that right where it needs to be. That way it's super clean and clear all the way through. That's one of the very, very few moments in here that I hear any discrepancies in the vocal. So yeah, just double check some of the manual corrections there. That way it's all lined up. Yeah, of course. 100%. Yeah, we listen to everything here.
Your betrayal, even when you're tearing me down. You said you'd be in my life.
Beautiful third harmony. So, do it be in my, should you be in my life? The little third harmony on the right side there. Or double tracked on either side. Beautifully done.
You're tearing me down. You said you'd be in my life.
Da, 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 da. That harmony right there is beautiful. Great positioning as well. It feels like it's like 10 feet behind you and wide. Really nice positioning of those layers.
On the sideline, what was it worth? Not a thing. But who was counting?
Nice.
Happy I wonder. I never felt that you needed me.
Same thing here. We're just going to need to carve some of those mids, especially out of center channel. Leave some space in there for those vocals to sit. But you're, yeah, beast, man. So good.
Everything weighs under the weight of a soul struggling.
All right, let's get into these next breakdowns here, man. What a dude. Grady, you're a monster, man. Seriously, so talented. Just the amount of variety that you're able to pack into a production too. We're about to get into this dubstep breakdown here in a second. Yeah, you're crazy.
I never push you away. We're just meant to fade.
gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love it.
Wish you loved me.
Beautiful formant shifting here too. It's just enough so it doesn't get too monstery, but you have this slight, you got like a 3-degree formant shift down that just feels so tasteful. It's saturated. It's nasty, man. It sounds really, really, really well done.
I dream of it every night. If you take me, I forgive you. Is it too
Love the almost like flat line kind of in the background too. It's really well done, man. So much of your structure I think is gorgeous. Like we said, this is not mixed. There's finalization of some mixed details like we always talk about, some structural things, phrasing things. But man, this is such a good song structure. It's such a good song structure, and it's really dynamic. This is a 4.5-minute song, but it's so dynamic, and there's so much range vocally and in the production structure that it really does not feel. It really does not feel like a 4.5-minute song, man. It's really, really well done. Hey, I appreciate y'all tapping. I see a bunch of people coming in asking about the live and submission. Tyler, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for that. If anybody's wanting to submit, I'm going to close the line after the song. So if you want to submit, you can, but I only have time for, I think, 2 more songs after this. 2 more songs after this one, which currently speaking on the line is CandiPuff and Nova. CandiPuff and Nova, I believe, are the last 2 that I have in here so far. After this song, I'll be closing the line, but you can still submit for the time being. Just keep in mind you need to check the line first over on the Red app, YT. That way you can go see the line, the order, and the minimum. That way before you submit. All right, let's see. Let's keep it going.
I promise I'll never complain, even if it's
Got you, Nova.
I forgive you.
All right, let's get into this breakdown here. This is such a great switch.
I forgive you.
I want to hear this breakdown again. I'm hearing something. Let me see.
I forgive you.
Okay, here's my thought, and you know, Grady, you know this better than most because you've been here plenty of times, so you kind of know my mindset on most things here. I'm not here to change your production. I'm not here to like go against what your creative vision was for your song. So I don't want to interrupt that at all. I just have my ideas, and I'll toss them out there. Feel free to ignore half of them, right? This is very subjective. In my opinion, compared to how dramatically heavy these next electronic, drums come in, they're so heavy. They're so beefy. They have so much energy. I love it. To me, in contrast with that, acoustic drums, even though they're snappy metal drums, they feel soft in contrast with how just thick the rest of these percussion elements are and the rest of these synths and basses are. They feel like a little bit loose and a little bit soft, right? They're almost like too natural, right? In my opinion, I would almost just rather go straight into your dub breakdown instead of doing the fill with the acoustic drums. Because to me, it actually pulls the energy back for a second, a little bit. It feels like I'm heading in a slightly different direction than my brain is kind of wanting it to go. I want to hear it one more time. I want to hear the way that the dub drums come in one more time, and then we'll revisit it. But my mind is like, I wonder if you could maybe do a different fill there with the electronic drums or some crazy glitches to fill in right there, just because I feel like it flatlines for just a millisecond before the rest of it comes in. Maybe that's intentional, but I do feel like I'm missing something right there when those drums come in. It's like almost like it pulls me back to a different part of the song, and then you go a different direction, and I don't know if it's working the best of my body.
I forgive you.
Hear it again.
I forgive you.
Like I almost want to hear just like a cashmere cat, really glitchy, weird, like metallic, crazy thing happen there, and then and then it hit crazy. Like I almost just want to hear.
I forgive you.
You know what I mean? Like just a little pop here and there, a metallic range shift, reverse, stretched out something there. and then just slap as soon as everything else comes in. Exactly. Something glitchy and manipulated and stretched out, and like just say, I forgot you, and then you go crazy. Just something that keeps me in the vein right there. Because like once I start hearing, I think what's happening is like your first part of this breakdown, the first 2.5 minutes of the song is so well structured. It lives in its moment beautifully that I don't necessarily like want it to happen. I want it to live in that moment a little bit more specifically. As soon as you start doing this build up, I'm like, dude, oh my gosh, we're getting a completely different feel and build up here. This is an EDM build up. Like, what's going on here? And then I hear metal drums again for a second. I'm like, oh, maybe we're going back. And then I go back here. It's a little bit of whiplash. I kind of just wish that just lean into the EDM, lean into the electronic stuff, and just, yeah, make it synthesized, make it metallic and ringing and stretched out, and then transition hard into the last breakdown. I love the drop right there, though. Beautiful. That synth arpeggio going, beautiful. So good. Woo. Yeah. I would love on the B section here to bring in something consistent. Just an idea. Again, all I'm doing here is getting your wheel spinning and just throwing out ideas. That's all I care about. So if like your first had to have the horse, you had to. Like if you had to have all this here. So this is glitchy and it's poppy. Crazy. It's so open. Ka, boom, ka, boom. And so what my brain wants to hear is that high arpeggio, don't do it like that. The high arpeggio that you have in there, which is gorgeous. I love it so much. I kind of want to hear that introduced as like a top line for this B section here, where that comes in fast again, and that becomes like your sequencer that like keeps the movement and the energy moving forward. Just so there's like a little bit more pacing, because I think if it's continually just goo, ga, da, boo, ga, and it's all like lax, even though the energy's crazy, the dynamics are crazy. The energy's the signature still feels halftime and really slow, that I feel like it could start to drag once you hit a B section for like another 16 measures. It could feel a little bit slow. And so I think having a fast-paced element in there is really, really helpful. I think that sequence would be one way that you could do it. So let me see. Let me hear that sequence again really quick. A little sequence right there, right? So if we go into the B section here, right here, something in the background that's like, it doesn't have to be, that's too tinny, that's too resonant and ringy. Something in the background that's keeping that movement forward and keeping like the pacing a little bit sharper. And it doesn't have to be as, that's too resonant, right? But something like that plucky, tight, really tight decay and release that kind of sits in the background there. That's like, it just gives you a stair step of like some new glue and information. You know what the deal, Grady. You know what I'm talking about. I feel like I'll say the idea and then you'll put language to it. And it's perfect. Yeah. Distorted pluck in the background, similar to what you have there, but it could even be like, it could be tucked way back there. Just some new information that keeps the pacing, keeps your sequence going a little bit faster. Let me hit the outro real quick. I love this outro too. Beautiful outro. Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
I'm struggling when, well, it all collapsed. I wonder.
Beautiful. Y'all show some love to Grady Finch right here in the chat. Show some love to Grady Finch. Grady, you're an animal, man. So talented. Both of these productions are absolutely nuts. I think you have like like 2 or 3 little small things that you can attack to just polish a little bit, rework the vocal on Parasite, small little changes to production structure. But man, you are an incredible producer. Very well done, man. It's all love from over here. Appreciate you so much, man. Always gonna get love. I really appreciate what you do. All right, y'all, we got time for 2 more songs. 2 more songs. So let me Okay, that's a second track from CandiPuff. Got you. Okay, I was like, wait, hold on. That was a flip track. I want to make sure I got the right one. Okay, give me a second. So catchy. All right, y'all, I got time for 2 more. These are our last 2 tracks. Let me update it here. We are closing the line. So again, keep your eye out. Keep your eye out on the line because you can constantly see where you're at. You can see where everything sits. So the line is closed. I'm going to close it over here as well. Currently speaking, that is CandiPuff and Nova. And I believe everyone else will be saved for tomorrow's live. We will be live tomorrow afternoon for sure. So definitely tap in tomorrow afternoon. We'll open up the line for another, probably 4 or 5 hours, maybe, depending on my project load that day. It just really depends on what I have going on. So we'll open up the lines again, and we'll get everybody back up on the line who was here today or whoever is able to jump back in. We'll get you up there right now. I think we're closing with CandiPuff and Nova. That's just the order that's in the line right now. Anybody that is in line, you can move forward, but there's no new submissions, right? So if you're in line and you want to make sure you're heard tonight, you can. That's up to you. But there's just no new submissions, so it doesn't stack up too much. Because I have a couple other people in here that are still on the line. All right. We've got CandiPuff in the building. CandiPuff, hop in the chat. Hop in the chat. I saw you just a second earlier. But let's get into, I think you want, let's see. Kakagiri, right? I think is the name. Gamble. CandiPuff. Let's see. Nathan's in the building. What's up, Nathan? Y'all hear my allergies kicking my ass right now. Da, 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 da. Luxo, these are Lux XO maybe. These are long form consultations, so a lot more in depth than a reaction. We spend about 30 minutes per track, 20 to 30 minutes per track, breaking down the mix, production structure, sound design decisions, songwriting and song format, stuff like that. Each track that we listen to, we spend about 20 to 30 minutes breaking it down. Listen to it 2 or 3 different times to really get into the details of the practical and creative aspects of the song. All right, we've got Gamble. This is a work in progress. This is by CandiPuff right here in the chat. You can do this. I love my vocal arrangement on the ending. Let's get into it. David, to get it remixed, and since I'm not a producer, you can talk. Okay, cool. Yeah, talk to me about what your role is in this track. It's my first time hearing you. Let me know what I'm listening to and the role that you play in it. Let's get into it. Beautiful. Sort of. Hold on. There we go. Okay, cool. Beautiful.
One last year, ain't got nothing to lose. Tell the dealer.
What are you using to record right now? Like what mic and stuff?
The voice inside plays an endless loop. What are you doing? Go ahead and play it. See, I know love is a risky game. Don't wanna tell, better not explain. Counting cards, don't you place no blame. What are we doing?
Twins. We're twins. I got you right here. Cool. Let's go, CandiPuff. Let's go. Good doubles. So you didn't do any of the production, right? Who did the production? What's up, Derek? Good to see you, man.
Raise my heart if you're willing to. What are you thinking? Said no love is a risky game. Don't wanna tell, better not explain. Down to the wire, don't you lose your aim. What are we doing? I feel I'm moving. She's taking over me.
Double tracks are really nice. Good positioning there too. Let's go. It was a DJ from back home. Okay, cool. Cool. Do you have access to like the multi-track from that, or are you just like mixing off the beat? Look this. DJ first song he did, he said do that. Okay, cool, nice. That gives you some control over the mix. Let's go. Y'all show some love. That is Kakagiri by CandiPuff right here in the chat. Production was done by another DJ and producer. And they did the vocals, all the songwriting and the vocal over that. And let's get into it. Let's run it from the top. Let's dive into some details. Is it Sam? Thank you so much for tapping in. The line is closed. I'm backwards on my screen. The line is closed for today, but we are going to open up the line again tomorrow. So definitely make sure that you're following anybody in here who is wanting to submit for a breakdown like we're doing here. Make sure that you're following on any of the different platforms that we're live on. That way you can tap in for the next stream. We'll be live. I'm Central Time, so we'll be live tomorrow afternoon Central Time. Let's run it from the top. This is a work in progress, so we're going to dive largely into like mix and performance details, and then we'll move on to our final song. It's a pretty, he doesn't produce anymore, but I want to redo the mix for my rebrand. Okay, beautiful. In my opinion, it's a pretty rigid intro. So it's like, I'm trying to find like the start. It's just straight from there. I would love as simple as just like a reverse reverb or something. You know what I mean? Like just a to kind of tighten up that intro structure right there, make it feel a little bit more like a song. It's just kind of like boom. It's just like the beat started there. That's how they started the beat. The beat just happens. And there's no introduction of energy. Just you're there. We're already in the song and we're happening. I would love for it to feel like a little bit, like even just a half second of just like introduction to give us some time to adapt, right? We're just right into all of the production elements right there. Bass, lead elements, percussion, everything. So even just like taking the whole session and backing it off 2 counts and having a reverse reverb or something right there, just boom, and then it hits right there. Something like that alone to me makes this feel a little bit more palatable. My first song I wrote when I moved to Sin City. Beautiful. Yeah, most of the structure here is really nice.
One last year, ain't got nothing to lose. Tell the dealer, place a bet on you. The voice inside plays an endless loop. What are you doing? Go ahead and play it. See, I know love is a risky game. Don't wanna tell, better not explain. Counting cards, don't you place no blame.
Listen for a little bit here.
What are we doing? I feel I'm moving.
I would like just even lightly to open up the top end of your vocal. Right now, especially with your layers, even if you don't do it as much with the lead vocal, if you want the lead a little warmer, a little bit more saturated, on these like airy, bright, wide lead vocals, I would love to open up the top end just a hair. Nothing too crazy. Don't go crazy with it, but just 9K, 10K, up like a dB and a half, 2 dB, just to give it a little bit of space, a little bit of openness. The mistake people make is they go like 6 dB and it just sounds brittle and harsh and crazy. You already have a pretty bright microphone. I mean, I literally have the mic, so I know how it works. Alex, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. This microphone, the one that you're using, the 102, it's a very brittle microphone. It's very bright, and so you don't have to do a lot to it, right? I think the problem that a lot of people have with like the 102 and the 103, like this here, is they take that mic that's already really bright and almost kind of like harsh and brittle at the top end, and then they crank the high end because they think they have to. You don't need to do a lot to it, but I would open it up. It does do well opening up, especially in like pop records and R&B records, by giving it a little bit of air and space at the top. So even just a dB and a half, 2 dB can help kind of complement that really well. Just be careful with sibilance. Just same thing. This microphone doesn't handle sibilance very well, in my opinion. It can be kind of harsh and brittle. So if you do open up the top end, just make sure you are controlling with a de-esser so that you're not getting as much of that harsh and like resonant S's and T's and stuff like that in the mix. It is a a decent microphone, but it's gonna get harsh pretty quick if you overdo it on the EQ. But I would love to get a little bit of space and energy over the top of that vocal right there. And then honestly, your vocal can probably come up like another 2 dB or so in the mix as well. It's a little back. It sets a little bit farther back, especially when you get into the breakdowns here. Especially because right now, all of your vocals, like your lead vocal line, is all pushed to the side where all of your synths are too. So like where a lot of your lead elements are is also where your vocal is sitting. So there's not like space for all of them to exist in the same space. So I would probably still make sure that you have some vocal texture in the middle there. And if you have some, push it forward just lightly so that you still have some prominence with that vocal in the background. Just because just in the background right there, if all of your synths are stereo and they're all left and right pretty wide, then you also have all of your vocals double tracked to left and right, panned wide all the time. It really is kind of, they're going to start stepping on each other's toes. So just make sure that there's space, in your panning structure, in your stereo field for all those elements to exist. Let's see. Kuya, thank you so much for tapping in. When should you place the de-esser? Like, is it before EQ or and comp or after? The answer, you're not going to like the answer. The answer really just depends. It depends on your setup. It depends on the mic, and it just depends on what sounds good. I know Billboard charting, engineers that they put it early. They put it really, really early, and they tackle it. I know another one that does it at the end or closer to the end, which is more the way that I do it, where I'll typically, after I do a big push in EQ, so if I'm brightening up a vocal a lot, sometimes I'll follow that by a de-esser to help like suppress a little bit of the energy that maybe is being boosted too far. So if I'm cranking 9K, but there's some kind of peripheral frequencies that are being pulled along in there that's making it a little bit harsher, you can soften that a little bit with a de-esser after your high push of your EQ. I know another engineer he's a Grammy-winning engineer, and sometimes he does 2 or 3 de-essers, where he has one early on to just catch it, and then he has another one kind of in the middle of his chain after he does an EQ push just to kind of grab onto it again, because he's doing a lot of really tight like hip-hop and R&B that's really pushing the high end and really crunching up the saturation. So again, kind of loose answers, it really depends. It depends on where it feels like it's the most beneficial. If you want to catch it early, catch it early. The thing is that if you catch it early, or if you don't catch it earlier, then sometimes what happens is people compress like crazy, and they're boosting and compressing parts that don't really need to be there, which is why reductive EQ early on can be helpful as well. So sometimes it can be helpful to catch some of that earlier so that you're not compressing and boosting and amplifying something that you don't want to, right? Like you're not cranking something and pushing it forward in the mix that you want to take care of earlier on. So I have like, let me see. So I have do I have one on here right now? Let me see. Yeah, I have an analog yeah, of course. Anytime. I have an analog de-esser that I use going in. So this is a Neumann M147 tube. I have this running into a tube preamp, EQ, and compressor. And in that signal chain, I have an analog de-esser as well. So I have just a kiss just a kiss of de-esser going in, and then I have one other de-esser. Right now I'm using the one from Waves, just in my voiceover chain right here. I have another one in Waves that's after my high EQ push, right? So I have a kiss of it going in, so I have two de-essers. A kiss going in and analog outboard. And then once I get into the DAW, once I get into Pro Tools, which is the DAW that I'm using right now, then I have another one in there. And the second one that I have in there is after Fab Filter. I have a little bit of a boost, like 2 dB on the outside. I have a 2 dB push, and then I follow that with a de-esser just to control about 4,500 hertz to pull back some of the energy from the sibilants. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate it.
At the table, my red eye on you. Those subtle tales, they're all coming through. Raise my heart if you're willing to. What are you thinking?
With it, okay, here's probably one of my main points. Probably one of the main things that I want to bring up in here. I would suggest right now you're doing single takes all the way through. In this style of music, I would say 99 times out of 100, there's not really room for you to do that most often, because what is innate to like house and dubstep and electronic music and you know, anything in the electronic space, EDM space, is control and kind of largely like perfection of the vocal structure, right? So what you're doing, because you're doing single takes all the way through of these vocal lines, and you hear at least verse by verse, chorus by chorus, you hear every long breath to catch up with the song. And what I would love to hear in this is a lot more control and a lot more consistency. So what I would do is I would comp vocals with this. I think you said you're using Studio One. I think I saw that earlier. Studio One's great for comping and playlisting. Pro Tools, I think, is the best. Logic is always great. But for comping and playlisting vocals, and I would do it line by line. So each of these lines right here, you did comp the vocals? Okay, I would comp, this sounds funny, but I would comp more often. Let me back this up. So it sounds like you're doing long form punch-ins. So you're doing like maybe a whole section of the verse maybe, or even the whole verse, and then comping that, choosing the best part of that verse and pushing it forward. I would do it the same in between, because all of these breaths, I wasn't in the session when the producer mixed this. Okay, cool, gotcha.
Eye on you. Those subtle tales, they're all coming through. Raise my heart if you're willing to. What are you thinking? What are you
So like all of that right in there, right? And there's like a little delay on one of the vocals because you're catching a breath right before it to get the next line. So like little things like that. So with things like this is where I wouldn't cut breaths necessarily, but I would suppress breaths. I would have them comped in line by line, so it's really consistent. Every single line has a clean, pure, really, really targeted vocal. And you have a suppression of the breaths, right? So I usually use Melodyne for breath suppression. That's typically what I use for a lot of my vocal control. So in Melodyne, I'll just target that one little breath in between, and I'll just lower the amplitude. It's perfectly smoothed and faded. It makes it really, really tight and cohesive without it feeling robotic and unnatural. So with a song like this, now obviously you could push this forward, you can clean it up a little bit, you could target the mix a little bit better, like all the stuff we're already talking about. But I would also in your future records comp in a style like this, comp line by line, comp like really, really consistent. Because like, listen again real quick.
they're all coming through.
They're coming through. You hear all of that breath right in there.
My heart if you're willing to. What are you thinking?
Willing to, what are you? It's a long form. So all of those lines, they might be comped in, but all of that segment's connected. All of that segment right there is one take. And so those are the segments where I want that to be like polished, broken up, and controlled. It's just going to make it way smoother. Now, you really do need a good tracking engineer. Ma'am, I don't have yours on there. I don't have yours on there. I don't think you did a full submission, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't, what was I saying? Let me back up one more time.
Heart if you're willing to. What are you thinking? What are you doing?
Yeah, I got you.
Love is a risky game. Don't wanna take
Like there's some clean comps right there. You hear how smooth that is. So that's where, of course. Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow. Those little lines right there, those feel really smooth. It's definitely in the verses where you need a little bit better breath control and amplitude control right there, and just get that like polished and clean. I can't remember who the DJ was that I was watching a video on a couple months ago, but they talked about how when they are doing comps, they're literally doing it like sometimes like syllable, not comped syllable by syllable, but like word by line, and then they are like connecting and changing pitch and changing timing control, literally syllable by syllable. They'll spend like 3 days just editing like one vocal line so that it's like perfect. It's one of the I can't remember who it was. One of the biggest producers and DJs in the world. But they literally syllable by syllable to make sure it's perfectly in time, it's targeted, and it's clean, and somehow still sounds transparent and natural. Those are the things that I want you to look for. Now, this is, you don't have to do that, of course, but just to give you a perspective that that's what the greats are doing. Like that, a lot of times, that is what the people that are doing it at a really, really high level professionally are doing. They aren't just letting things slide. They're really digging into the record. They're leaning into what's happening and polishing things as much as they have the capacity to. So that's why you don't have to do syllables, but that's why I would comp each line, get it smooth, get it consistent, get it really, really clean, and then make sure you have breath control, transition control, make sure your fades are really smooth. Spend some time really digging into those details. I promise you it's worth it. It will definitely make a difference in the way people perceive your records. A lot of times, the difference between what sounds like really professional and amateur is just attention to detail. It's that there's a crackle and pop in the beginning of the song, or the vocal fades in a little bit weird on the second verse, or there's one line where the auto-tune caught it kind of funky on the end of the bridge that no one melodined to kind of line back up again. It's usually these little details that are subconscious. The audience does not have language for it, but you feel it in the structure of the song where things don't feel consistent and polished. Those are the details that, although are small, really, really matter. Because most of what you're doing here is catchy. It's repetitive. You have a good production structure. I think there's a polish to the vocal mix and vocal takes. But beyond that, like, you're doing a lot of things really well. I think we just need to kind of lean in to attention to detail to polish these different elements here. Okay, let me get into the last hook here. Because I love that hook. I almost want that, you know. This I almost want that lead to be the second line and the stacks to be the background line. So stacks here, in heaven, and then lead vocal, the rush is taking out for me, and then stacks, in heaven, and then lead. Da, 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 da. So you can do a little more ad-libs, a little bit more freedom, a little bit more like of a punchy, loud lead vocal in the middle there. And then the stacks in the background are just constantly doing, in heaven. They're constantly doing those stacks back there. And then you're like responding with the lead in the middle. That'd be another way that you could get a little more punch and drive out of the lead vocal without the whole hook is kind of a stack. So it's all split. It's all pushed to the outside. It's all pulled back, as opposed to you still having like a more powerful lead element that's not just kind of the background ad-libs that you have. It's catchy as hell. So I like, how would you do the stacks on the ending with the stacks? Because, so I like what they're doing there. So like those ends, in heaven, I like what they're doing and kind of where they're positioned there. I just don't know if I would have the whole things being stacked all the time. I think I would just have your, like, I think it's the rush taking over me or something like that. Oh, at the tail. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I see what you're saying. This just comes down to positioning and space for each element, right? The phrase I use all the time is, if everything's loud, nothing's loud. If everything's wide, nothing's wide. If everything's quiet, nothing's quiet, right? We need contrast. We need space for each element to exist, right? So right now, all of those layers are at like the same loudness, and they're all pushed all the way wide, and they're all processed the same. And 6 on, 6 on, 6 on, 6 on, 4. they're all doing kind of they're doing different things, but they're all in the same position and process the same for the most part. So what we need is they need to be positioned slightly. They need to be panned and positioned slightly differently. They need to be processed slightly differently, and you need to kind of decide your non-negotiables for that vocal as well. We need to decide like what can be loud, what can be quieter, what can be thinner, what can be brighter, and position them in a way that there's room for everything to exist there. Right now they're all the way wide and they're all kind of processed the same. So you just kind of start to hear them step on each other's toes. It just kind of becomes a little bit of a blob of noise and melody on the outside of the mix, as opposed to being like clean, distance and space and depth between each one of those. So you want to be able to distinguish them all in the mix. So like what I would do is like maybe those low whoo, have those panned like 50% to the outside, thin out the low end. You don't need it. You already have bass and some percussion in there. Thin out the low end to like 120 hertz, 150 hertz. And then you have like a whoo, higher harmony to that. Maybe go 70% to the outside on that one. Maybe a little bit more air at the top. Then your like lead melodies. Da, 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 da. Like you have some lead melodies, push those all the way to the outside, make them nice and bright, thin them out, over DS them. Like just having different positioning and different levels. And then maybe the oohs and ahs, you pull back just a little bit and leave lead melodies a little bit more forward. So that again, you have some depth and you can distinguish between all of these different elements. Bobby McFerrin, Whalers. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. So we have all of these elements, but they just need to all exist in their own lane. If they don't exist in their own lane, it becomes mud. It just becomes noisy and busy and muddy, and you lose control of the mix really, really fast. So what I would just make sure is that you don't just dump them all in there and push them wide because you want them wide, but that you pan them individually to where they need to be. You process them in a way that feels like it's cohesive and that there's room for the different elements to fit together like a puzzle piece. Not that they're all doing the same thing and positioned in the same way, if that makes sense. Hopefully that is a bit helpful. But y'all show some love to CandiPuff. I like what you're doing. I like what you're doing. You have an interesting voice. There's good control here. You do have a really good, consistent structure. So that's one thing I can really celebrate about this, is that you understand a hook. You understand really how to build vocal layers and vocal structure. I feel like all of that is fantastic. Now it's just going to come down to some production details like we talked about, but also vocal processing and vocal positioning. And then comp structure, I think, is going to be really, really important. So y'all show some love. Show some love to CandiPuff. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for sending this in. I'm excited for your future. A lot of potential. A lot of potential. All right, let me see something real quick. I got to get out of here, man. My allergies are killing me. Y'all hear that? I know you can because this is a super, super sensitive microphone. The line is closed for today, but just make sure that you're following. Super, I appreciate you being here. Make sure that you're following. We'll open up the lines again tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, it's brutal. This is, I'm in Texas, which I hate. It's already a point negative. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I'm in Texas and the allergies here are just absolutely brutal. Brutal. Yeah, we're closed today, but tomorrow afternoon, Central Time, we'll open it back up again. Let's see. Nova, are you in the chat? Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's so brutal. And having to like talk constantly is just brutal. Okay, Nova, you're going to close this out. Nova's going to close this out tonight, then we'll be back on tomorrow. I'll try to move through this at a good pace. Let's see. There's Nova. Here's my songwriter crew mixing dubstep and metal by making each individual dubstep noise with my own guitar. Beautiful. It's an older one of mine, so if it doesn't have the greatest mixing. Okay, beautiful. Let's get into it. This is on Spotify, so if you like what you hear, go stream it. And let me know what I can help with. Let's go, Nova. So all those effects are all guitars? Beautiful. Let's go. Nasty, man. Sounds it over, man. This is cool. I love that you did all this with guitars too. That's definitely unique. What's up, Joey? Welcome in. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. Yo, show some love. That is Riot Crew by Nova. Let's move at a good pace because I gotta get out of here and go take my allergy stuff. It's killing me. Y'all show some love. That is, it looks like that's off an EP that Nova put out last year. So if you like what you hear, go stream the EP. It's called Inorganic. It came out in 2025. He's got 6 tracks on there. So go show it some love and support. Go follow on there. Go like the tracks. Go stream them. Go put them on your playlist. All that good stuff. Line is closed. Line is closed. We're going to be back on live again tomorrow. But shout out to Nova. Let's dive into a couple quick details here. One of the main things I want to talk about, we should be able to move through this pretty quickly so we can get out here. It's a little bit late. So we're going to get Bells. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Yeah, close for today. We'll open up the lines again tomorrow afternoon. I'm Central Time. All of the details of the live stream are on my profile. If you go to my profile, click on the link, you can see the details there. Jane, thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate it. Okay, and then we'll get some people back up on the board tomorrow as well. One of the biggest things that I want to tackle just really briefly is what I call a U-shaped EQ curve, right? Other people call it that too, but it's a U-shaped EQ curve where the low section, far low frequency profile, and the far high frequency profile is a little bit inflated, and then you're missing a lot of the information in the middle of your track, right? A lot of your mids, low mids, high mids are kind of scooped out to create this like heavy low end and like a bright, snappy high end. But you actually lose a lot of like the warmth and a lot of the character and a lot of the color of the track when you scoop out all of those mids, right? So what's happened is like a lot of this feels pushed to the outside, like double tracked rhythm guitars pushed all the way to the outside. And then of course you're kind of scooping out all of the middle. So you don't get a lot of like power and a lot of energy out of this record. For one, it needs a master, like it needs to be louder and just to be able to compete on platforms and stuff like that. But just in profile, it's kind of wide, low, and bright, and you're missing a lot of that power and that presence in the middle of the mix. So what I would just do is, assuming because it's affecting everything, that it's probably happening on your master, like maybe you're scooping a little bit in the middle, pushing the low end, pushing the high end, like 10K and 200 hertz or something like that. Just reinflate some of that middle, right? Especially around like 200 to 600 hertz, like that pocket of low mids right there, where this feels a little bit suppressed so it doesn't get too muddy. We need a little bit more of that warmth again, because right now it feels a little bit empty right there. And I would love to regain the power of that double track electric, because the guitars are powerful, man. Like so much of what you're doing in the production structure is incredibly energetic, but you don't really like feel it in the mix because so much of that frequency profile has been suppressed. So just reintroduce some life back into the middle of the mix. You'll be in a good spot. Let's run it from the top. Let's see if there's anything else. I just wanted to tackle that one major issue, and then we'll keep it running. Also, this lead line, you have a riff in the background. That riff needs to be way farther forward. And you could like filter it out a little bit. Like you could, bring the top down and the bottom up, filter it down a little bit. Like bring that melody forward because that's your riff. That's your instrumental hook that you have right here. And it's, 6 dB too far back. I barely hear it there, but that to me is where a lot of the energy and the life of the song comes from. So we need to make sure, again, that's another mid element that's been pulled way back that needs to be back forward again. That's such a great hook. It's way back there. Yeah. You've improved quite a bit, Nova. You've improved quite a bit. You could also, you could do file replacement through DistroKid or whatever let me see, did you distribute through? No, you didn't use DistroKid, I don't think. A lot of DAWs, a lot of independent distributors will allow you to do a file replacement. So you could remix this and upload it too. Yeah, exactly, Alicia. It's like as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh man, I wish that was like 5 dB forward because it's there and it's such a good riff. It's such a good like top line right there, and you miss it. I love that all of this is guitar too. Chase Samples, welcome in, man. Exactly. Love the high melody there. Yeah, it's just reinflating that middle, man. And again, you're far past this already. I've heard more recent mixes of yours. I'm mentioning stuff that you've already improved on. So just to kind of, talk about what's here in front of me. But yeah, you've improved a ton, man. Let me skip forward a little bit. Nasty riffs. You can hear where those kicks can there's a big boost in the low end right there. That just needs to be rebalanced, reinflate the mids, soften the high, just a reflattening of your mix so it's good across all platforms. You'll be good to go. That sounds like Star Wars gunshots. What's up, Daryl? Welcome in. Right? It's like Star Trek or something. I like it. I can do that on like the synths. It's fun to do it on the synths sometimes. It's hilarious. Every time you hear that, every time you hear that resonance, you're gonna like, oh my god, it sounds like a lightsaber or something. Sound design's nuts. Nova, sound design is crazy. It's crazy. Now you need to put this to some like Star Wars edits or something like that. Like find a scene where someone is like is shooting a laser really, really fast and put your music behind it so it like it matches, it all syncs up. It'd be crazy. So crazy. That's nuts, dude. That's nuts. That takes so much skill. Nasty, nasty. You're getting such a broad range of sonics from just that instrument, man. It's really, really crazy. It's really, really well done. I recorded them, spliced them, and configured them into a drop. Dude, I mean, that's what like RJ Payson does. You know RJ Payson, I'm sure. That's what he does. And he got crazy. I mean, he started making hundreds of thousands of dollars just with loops and samples and stuff like that he just did Yeah, he's crazy. He's crazy. He's crazy. I mean, now he's everywhere. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. And doing that same thing. So if you're not already, I haven't seen your page, but if you're not already, I'd be posting what you're doing. Post because you never know, dude. You chop up something like this and you start posting clips of it and you playing some of the parts and chopping in Ableton like he did, you could go crazy. Weird thing is, mouth out what sounds about there. I do that. I do that sometimes too. Sometimes I'll have a melody in my head, then I'll be kind of trying to break down and trying to figure it out, and I'll like sing it or I'll hum it and I'll mouth it, and then I'll go to a synth and try to match it on the synth of kind of whatever my idea is. But y'all show some love to Nova. Nova, I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for sending this in. You're an absolute monster of a guitarist and a sound designer. You should be incredibly proud of the work that you made. Like, obviously, this is an older mix, and I feel like you could update some of the things that are there. Really, really, really well done, though, man. You could always update the file on the distribution as well if you felt like it. But shout out to the family. Shout out to Nova. I appreciate you so much. That's gonna close this out for tonight, y'all. I'm feeling miserable. I gotta go take care of these allergies. I love and appreciate y'all so much. Just a quick reminder for those of you before we hop off, for those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. It's what I do for a living. So if you're ever interested in any of those services, whether you need analog synths, you need live drums, guitar, bass, electric, vocals, whatever it may be, keys, piano, in your record, you need a session musician, hit me up, shoot me a message. If you need a mix and mastering engineer, a full-scale producer, let me know. Tap in. We could talk about your budget. We could talk about your timeline and stuff like that and see if we have something that would work well for you or if I can recommend you to someone. But I love and appreciate y'all so much. So guys, thank you so much for the follow. All of y'all that followed, submitted, just all of your incredible generosity and time today, your vulnerability with your craft. I appreciate it a lot. So thank y'all so much. We will be live again tomorrow. I got to finalize the mix in the morning, and I've got to finish up some production stuff tomorrow before I go live. So I do need to close up some projects, and then we will be able to kick things on tomorrow with some more streams. Do you think that I know how to play piano helps and rap? Oh, absolutely. Piano will help with everything. If you were to learn one instrument, probably learn piano. It'll help with your understanding of piano roll when you're producing rap music. It'll help with MIDI input. It'll help with understanding scaling, transpositions, modulation, everything. Working with synthesizers, all of that. Learn piano. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I started playing piano classically when I was 6 years old, and it has been one of the things that has allowed me to have a music business at all. My ear training, near perfect pitch, all of that stuff has come from learning piano. So I highly, highly, highly recommend it. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have an amazing, amazing rest of your evening. Hopefully we'll see some of y'all